Hey mates, Nyttel here, and welcome back to Asagao Academy, the Asagao Academy episode of Nyttel's Lost Book Club. Sorry I'm starting a little bit late today. I said I'd start at 9, but it took me a minute to get all the endings, so we're an hour late. Anyway, so in today's episode of Nyttel's Lost Book Club, we're going to be reading through all of the endings that we could have possibly arrived at in Asagao Academy. I'm going to go in the order in which I did the routes. So I'm going to do Shane's first, then Satch's, then Continues. Then I'll do PUG's, John's, Jared's, and then Gerard's. Let's go through Shane's endings first. We're also going to start from the worst to the best. Now, in between the streams, I got a new follower from TX Mason. Thank you for the follow, TX Mason. Shane's route is about having him open up to us. Let's see how well we did. We have all of these, so... Those are no mistakes, Hana. I just wanted you to like me, Shane, the whole time. I was homesick and lonely. I thought you felt the same way. I just wanted to see you smile. It took so long just to get a laugh out of you. But you did, didn't you? Yeah, but... You did it without even trying. Shane tucked a strand of rain-soaked hair behind my ears, smiling gently down at me. See? You just need to be yourself. You really thought I didn't like you? Of course not. You're always on about your ex-girlfriend. I felt like it was important enough to get the time of day from you. And after trying all this time, I still feel like you don't really care about me. He looked as though he had been slapped. What? I mean, it's not... No. I was trying to show you I liked you. I asked you to do homework with me. I asked you to model for art class. We went to the fucking flower festival together, Hana. You think I was doing that out of some English courtesy? I liked you from the start, I just didn't know how to express it. There's no need to compare yourself with Emily. You're two totally different people. He stared into the sky, face blank. Tears streamed down my face, and I wiped furiously at them, even though I could hardly tell the difference between tears and rain. I'm gonna get out of this rain. You quit your crying, we can try and talk about this backwards dry and quiet. He put a hand on my shoulder, peering into my face. Alright? Alright. We didn't talk much on the way back. It would have been hard to hear each other over the now roaring winds anyhow. We stopped at a Bluebell house. Shane was soaking wet and he wanted to change. Bluebell was closer to the entrance of Primrose Res. Shane held open the door for me and I headed inside, about to breathe with relief at finally being away from where prying eyes could see us. But Gerard was there, inspecting an IBK figurine on the couch.
Oh wow!
Oh wow, you go swimming, Hana? Not quite. Shane's reply was stiff and somewhat harsh, despite being only 2 words. Gerard glanced from me to Shane, and thanks for the lurk, Slev. You have a good day at the work. And lurk. Oh yeah, I forgot something downstairs, in the kitchen. I'm just gonna go grab it. It'll only take 5 minutes or so.
Later, guys!
Sorry, Hana. I'll be back. Gerard. I wasn't sure I wanted him to stay while we were in such a sour mood, but I also really didn't want him to leave. Gerard waved and shut the door behind him. You're not gonna stand there and watch me change, are you? No, sorry. I skipped out to the hallway and shut the door. Finally, I had some space to think. Almost no thoughts came. I was so tense that my stomach was hurting, and nothing productive entered my mind. Instead, flashes of Emily popped into my head. Emily and Emma, and me standing next to them. He didn't mean to make me feel this way, but at the same time, he definitely made me feel like a replacement. Even if it wasn't what he intended. Sometimes people express their true feelings without thinking. So Shane's true feelings were... Shane opened the door and I jumped. All better? Warmer. Go in here for a second. Back into the bedroom I went, sitting on the couch with a heavy thud. So what was it? Shane leaned on the wall across from me, eyes narrowed. It was like I was being interrogated. I stared at my shoes. Bits of mud hugged the bottom of them. You never liked me from the start. I thought we were getting along well. We went to the flower festival. I thought I made it clear I wanted to go with you. You acted like you didn't want to at all at the time. I doubt that. I remember. I remember vividly. Shane ran a hand through his hair, small flecks of water spraying into the air. Is that really what you're upset about? It's just... It seems like Emily... So this is about Emily? That's why this is happening? You talk about her a lot and you tell me I'm a lot like her. It's hard not to feel like I'm just a rebound, a replacement. That's not it at all. Maybe I shouldn't talk about her so much, but everyone has good qualities. I want nothing to do with her anymore, that's why I moved away. You're comparing me to her before we even knew each other. You're viewing me through the lens of her from the first moment you saw me. Just because we both have pink hair doesn't mean we're the same person. I know, and you helped me learn that. Because of you, I see good in people, since you're like that. Emily wasn't like that. How do you do that? Any compliments you give me based off Emily. You like the good things in Emily, but even better so, how about I date you instead? It's not like that, really. It makes me so sad, Shane. It hurts to feel this way. Shane stared at the floor, completely silent. I could almost see the cogs stirring in his mind. He was struggling to find a way to spin this well. I didn't want him to spin it, I just wanted him to understand. I can see how you would get that impression, but please believe me when I say you are not a replacement. The last thing I want is another Emily. I guess. It was all I would truthfully say. I didn't believe him. Shane pinched the space between his eyebrows. Okay, Hana, you got me. His voice was monotone, devoid of all emotion. I'm not going to argue anymore. If you think you're a replacement, then so be it. I'm sorry for trying to convince you. He sighed, then dropped his gaze. Even now, even on the other side of the planet. Give me some time to think about this, okay? Sure, there's a lot to think about. I'll walk you out. Thanks. I head from the room. Shane followed a few seconds behind me. As I walked down the hall, I felt a flicker of desire, wanting to hold his hand again. It faded as quickly as it came. As we emerged in the first floor hallway, Gerard stopped.
Hey, Hana.
Leaving so soon? She's got a lot of homework. Shane went straight to the door, and after a apologetic look at Gerard, I followed. By the time we got outside, the rain had stopped. Instead, dark and gloomy clouds hung overhead, the air cold with moisture. My clothes were still wet on my back, and now starting to itch as the water struggled to evaporate, as if I wasn't already uncomfortable enough. Thankfully, Primrose House wasn't far. We were inside before the sounds grew too awkward to handle. I stopped in front of my door, one hand on the doorknob. I'll be heading in then. Wait. I have something for you. I wanted to give it to you under a different circumstance, but... Stanley drew a packet of papers from underneath his jacket and handed them sheepishly to me. What are these? You'll see. The papers had drawings on them. Comics. A girl, who I knew to be Emily, stood with a boy who looked a lot like Shane. My hands trembled as I flipped to the next page. Emily and Shane holding hands. Emily and Shane baking together. Emily and Shane going to the movies. Now they were gardening. Now they were making arts and crafts. Each page a more cutesy love story than the last. Shane? I wanted you to understand how I felt. I don't understand.
What?
You don't? I handed the papers gently back, not wanting to bend them. They obviously meant a lot to him. Hana. My hands bunched into fists, knuckles turning white. I know Emma's based off Emily, so... Really? Are you seriously? I still understand. Shane didn't respond, he only stared at me. After a few seconds, he put the comics back under his jacket. I don't either. Hana, I think... we shouldn't see each other. I think it's better off if we don't. What? You're the inspiration, can't you see that? I stared at the floor. Even if he said it, that didn't make it true. Just forget it. His shoes vanished from my field of vision. The sound of footsteps faded, and the door at the end of the hall slammed. I stood for a few seconds in the ensuing stillness. I pulled out my keys. I didn't really feel like seeing Mai right now, but it was better than standing in the hallway and trying not to break down. We made eye contact as I opened the door. Hi, Hana. Oh God, what happened to you? The picnic. Didn't go well. Hana, I'm so sorry. It's my fault, it's okay. I think Shane and I are over.
What?
What?
What a jerk!
All because some rain, what a little... Mai. Please. Mai's face softened. I rolled into bed, not even caring that I was getting it wet. Well, I'm here for you, Hana, even if Shane isn't. Hearing her say that just split my wound even further. I know. Thank you, Mai. I didn't end up seeing any of them again. In class, I turned my face away. It just wasn't meant to be for me and Shane. The way this ending varies if you won the tournament is that you stop being a part of Norwood's club as well. Just to point that out, because the endings assume that you either got into the club, or for anything that's less than a best ending, you did not get into the club. Then, over fall break, Mai showed me a picture. Shane and a girl, pink hair, smiling over a meal in a pub. It was Emily. I was right. In a weird way, that photo at least gave me some satisfaction. For nights I lay awake, unable to sleep for an unrepentant question in my mind, what if I was wrong? At least now I knew it wasn't. And that's the worst end. Worst end. And I was ready to the bad end. Fat load of good that did. I blinked.
What?
I'm sorry? I'm just saying, that didn't do much good, did it? You've kind of been wrecking things around me from day one. What he said was true, but do you really have to say it? It stung. I'm just agreeing with what you were saying in the beginning, you're right. This ending is Shane thinks that pink hair girls are all the same. You've been nothing but trouble from the start. That wasn't... I just want to make you happy. I know, Hana, and you did. Kind of. It's not your fault that things went the way they did. I like you a lot, Hana, but what? What kind of but could be after I like you a lot? Shouldn't we just stop there?
Well,
I know you aren't going to like this, but I think girls with pink hair are dangerous. I told you Emma was the same way, right? Everything gravitated around her. Government agencies, evil villains. I have suspicions that she was secretly a magical girl, and that was why I was getting kidnapped all the time. But when I got to know you, I thought things could be different, that maybe your reality working powers were better than hers because you were a kinder person. After all, your powers have only gotten you a life of misery, your mother, your father, your old school. It wasn't until you came here that you started getting lucky. But then the events turned on me. They wanted to cause you suffering, but now they're working through me. So you accidentally insult me, you injure me, you almost kill me. Now, even on the best of days, it rains. Even at the best it'll ever be, I will still get rained on. What are you saying? I don't understand. I don't even think what you're saying is true. You sound like you're crazy. It's just... I think if I keep seeing you, I'll be in danger. I don't feel safe around you. I'm sorry. Shane stood up. I watched him from where I sat, completely stunned. I can't do this. I'm sorry. But... Shane walked away, out across the field and toward campus. He didn't even glance back at me. I didn't understand it. Things were going so well, but in the end, my pink hair was the problem? He left because he had crazy delusions that I was somehow magical, and the fates of the world would conspire to kill him? I didn't understand it. Ma kept saying, he's a nutter, you're better off without him. But as much as he said it, doubt still pounded through my mind. What had I done to earn my friendship with Norwood's Club, to even earn my scholarship to Asagao Academy? By all means, someone who left school for a full year shouldn't have gone scholarship to one of the most prestigious schools in the country. Over time, my doubts deepened. I started feeling like anything bad that happened to anyone was my fault, even though I couldn't prove it. Anything good that happened was something I didn't earn. It wasn't long before I chose to leave the academy and go back home. Ma didn't want me to leave. Even Shane seemed sad that I was going. But I had some things I needed to figure out. That was that. Bad end. Let's go to the good end. Shane smiled, hovering a hand above my head as some small shelter against the rain. Don't worry, Hana, you didn't. I sniffed, water creeping down my neck. No? Of course not. You brought me a lot of happiness. I know you didn't mean for things to get that way. And I'm sorry I was mean to you. I was wrong. You're not the kind of person that brings harm to others without caring.
Yeah.
You're a great friend. A friend? The word echoed from his mouth and around my ears, thumping like a tribal drum. Yeah, we're great friends. What do you say we get out of this rain? Don't want you to catch a cold. He held open one half of his jacket. I stared at him. What? Get in. He pointed inside his jacket with a finger, but I didn't understand it. You're already in there. Rolling his eyes, he grabbed my wrist and tugged me underneath his jacket. There, see? Even got an umbrella. Thanks, Shane. We headed back to campus as the rain slowly cleared, Shane's arm around my back. As soon as the rain stopped, though, he withdrew from around me, smiling bashfully. Alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Great. Actually, Hana, I was wondering, I have something to ask you. Shoot. Do you think you can forgive me? What? What? Forgive you? He nodded soberly. I judged you and treated you badly in the beginning of our friendship. I shouldn't have done that, but I was afraid, as you know now, of what would happen if another pink-haired girl. I think I can trust you now, but that doesn't make what I did okay. So can you forgive me? Shane. Oh, Shane. Of course I can. Thank you, Hana. Shane pulled me into a brief hug, just quickly pulled away. The flash of warmth was almost jarring. Thank you. In the end, Shane and I continued to hang out with each other, as friends. I don't know. Would Robert really do that if Emma asked him not to? You didn't think he was helping her, right? I'm sure Emma would understand in the end how her friendship would pull him through. She knows Robert wouldn't actually try to make her sad. That's a good point. You understand. Like I did. He didn't say it, but I was sure we were both thinking it. Shane continued his comic, but instead of Robert and Emma being romantically involved, it was revealed they were just platonic. Now he based comics happenings off the weird situations that constantly afflicted us, and honestly made for entertaining reading. But still, some part of me deep inside was hoping for more. I hoped that, someday, Shane would pen a panel of Emma successfully confessing to Robert, and I believed he would. I just need to give him the right inspiration. And that was a good end. And now, in the best end, let's see how Shane opened up to us. We'll also see this after we read the best end. The soporific sky seemed to be emptying out all they had at this point. Maybe you don't hate me, but... Shane raised an eyebrow at me. Rain dripped off his nose. And this might have not been true, but... Hana? He said it like a warning. He wanted me to spit it out. I balled my hands into fists, gathering all my courage. I was finally going to tell him. I felt like I was just a replacement for Emily. Shane stared at me in shock. I would have thought time skipped had droplets of rain not continued dropping off his hair. He was so taken aback that I faltered. Was I wrong to feel this way?
No.
You want. What? No buts, Hana. He stepped closer to me. We were only a few inches apart now. You're more than anything I could have asked for, could have hoped for. Emily was holding me back, and her. You helped me bloom. Another step, he closed in between our soaked lips. The flow of my mouth cleared, and a bed of flowers burst into life in its place. I instinctively leaned into it, at that moment feeling protected from the entire world. Shane brought a hand to my neck and pulled me closer, until our soaked garments were one. Finally, he pulled away, his thumb resting on my jawline. Beads of water hung off his eyelashes. I do like you, okay? You. It's just hard for me to show it. The darkening skies are up with a clap of thunder in the distance, for an instant illuminating us both in a flash of white light. This is still so scary for me. He was smiling so sincerely that it was hard for me to look at him. I know I'm okay, because it's with you. I like you too, but you knew that already, didn't you? He smiled sheepishly and nodded. Most of his year was spent trying to ignore that fact, probably. Shane glanced at the sky, then turned to his magical backpack. He unfurled an umbrella above us, a gentle smile on his face. You? I figured you might forget something like this. Shane. I really wanted to kiss him again. I put my hand to his face and moved forward, our lips connecting a second time. I thought it was what happened to Flower Festival. Really now? I completely forgot you were going to draw me. He kept saying things like, "Are you ready?" and "Are you okay?" It was suggestive, alright? Shane laughed as I intonated his low, sultry voice. Sorry it took so long. His Jack's smile warmed the depths of my rain-soaked heart. He put a hand outside of the umbrella, shaking his head. How about we get back to the dorms? I nodded. It was getting cold in these clothes. He held his free hand, I took it again, this time with no doubts in my mind. I giggled to myself the whole way back. When we got to the dorm, the rain had already darkened the sky to the point where I couldn't tell where it was day or night. You're not doing anything else tonight, right? No, I'm really tired. Crying your eyes out usually did a number on a person. I think Draw's gonna be at John's till late tonight if... He trailed off, eyes glued to the floor. I leaned forward to catch his attention, hands clasped behind my back. If...
Well...
I got the new Dog Cup movie. Are you inviting me to watch a movie in your dorm after co-ed times are almost over? I'm trying. And you think that I'm these now, the first new Norwood Woods Club member in years, I'm going to risk attention for you? Shane gaped like a fish. Yeah. Well, you thought right. Let's go. I led the way, if only because I was already in front, and opened the door to his always clean room. Oh, moment. Back. Once again, it put my room to shame. Shane went directly over to his spick and span bookshelf. He slipped out a yellow DVD, then handed it to me before grabbing into his laptop. The cover of the DVD was a graphic design disaster. The yellow background was so bright it was blinding, overlaid with a terrible red font. Drops of blood hung off the letters symmetrically, and the main character on the front. It was a police officer with the head of a beagle. This doesn't look good. Shane crawled into bed next to me, pulling a light knitted blanket over us. I swallowed hard. Don't think about being in a boy's bed, Hana. You're just watching a movie. Just a movie. Focus. This isn't Netflix and chill after all.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful. Did you watch the first movie? I shook my head. I never even heard of it. Shane didn't seem like one for indie films either. A friend from England got me into them. I like one of the actors. Nothing happens in the first one, so you're not missing much. I looked down at the cover again, tracing the bloody 2 with my eyes. Hey, couldn't you use a German Shepherd? You know, an actual police dog? Don't judge the dog by its face, Hana. I threw his pillow at him, which he blocked with ease. His sly grins are up by the telltale signs of an itch in the nose. 2. Oh no, getting sick? I realized I was still holding the pillow as if I were going to swing it again. I put it down. Shane winced, fingers pinching his nose. Maybe it's the dust. I eyed the pillow, then the blanket we were sitting under. You know, if you want. If I want? I only tried once in this room. Excuse me?
Yeah.
A blanket fort. That did not go where I thought it would. Shane chuckled at my face.
Well,
It is a little drafty in here. Pillow fort could be fun. He lit up like a Christmas tree. I laughed. Well, get off then. Shane grabbed the blanket I was sitting on, a wicked expression adorning his face. Don't you dare. He pulled. I rolled straight onto the floor, squeaking in surprise. Then I scrambled to my feet, face on fire. Shane! I threw a pillow as hard as I could at him as he clutched his stomach, doubling over with laughter. He yelped a bit and clapped his right pinky, pure pain on his face. Oh shit, I'm sorry. Still clutching his injured little finger, Shane gawked at me.
What?
Did you say shit? I covered my mouth. I guess I did. I never heard you swear before. What have I done? Now that I've thought about it, Shane swore a lot around me. I learned from the best. More importantly, your finger, I heard it. He made a face and shook out his fingers again. No, I think the pillow just hit it wrong. Man, a broken finger because of a pillow?
What?
It's broken?
No.
No, I was exaggerating. Okay. Please. I rubbed my nose, eyes tearing up. I don't suppose you're allergic to dust either. Not that I know of. Shane grit his teeth and looked around his room. I knew exactly what he was thinking. We were getting sick. At least wait until after the tournament. Yeah, but exams are next week. Right. Stress settled like a cloud over us, but that was no good. I grabbed the blanket that Shane pulled out from underneath me. Where should I put this? The fort will build itself. You know, since I only have one blanket, let's tuck it under Gerard's mattress. As Shane and I built the fort, memories flowed in from the beginning of the year. I was a little upset and homesick, and I pulled together a fort in our bedroom. Shane hated me back then, but now I was making the fort with him.
Yeah.
Perfect. Stepped back to admire handiwork. A single blanket hanging from Gerard's bed and clipped to two chairs. It'd be a lot more perfect if you had more than one blanket.
Yes.
I have a bunch of pillows. He pulled a second pillow from his bunk, immediately chucking at me. Problem. This isn't arranged in a bunk bed. Whatever. Okay, I deserve that. Raising an eyebrow, I picked it up. Shane pulled another pillow from his arsenal, eyes glinting. He was no pillow fight casual. The battle was long and hard, small bits of fluff and feathers exploding for pillows as we attacked each other. Correctly. Finally, I was exhausted. Shane bopped me on the head of his pillow, and I sent off balance, falling onto his bed. I couldn't stop the giggles from pouring out of me. You okay? Shane peeked inside the sheet curtain, stretched out his hand to help me up. I threw a pillow at his face. You worry too much. I smiled and laid back against the pillow. Oh. I shot back up and ran hand over the back of my head. I looked behind me, spinning in my sitting position. My bow!
What?
Huh? My bow, it's gone. I twisted every each way, panicking as I looked for the red ribbon. It's been gone for a few minutes.
Really?
Really? And I didn't notice? I patted the back of my head again, as if it would suddenly reappear. I didn't think it was important enough to mention. It's important. Okay, well, let's look for it. Yeah, it has to be in here. It probably got knocked off when I was jumping around. We searched under the bed, across the room, beneath the blankets, but nothing turned up. I forced myself to stay calm. I'll keep looking for it. For now, maybe we should just forget about it.
No!
No! I shouted at him, and Shane's brows instantly knit together. Sorry, I mean, I need it for my luck. You're cute without it. His compliment bounced off me. Ineffective. I needed my ribbon.
Hey.
If it's that necessary, I'll buy you another one. Thanks, but I need to find this one. He blinked at me, then moved to the other side of the room to search again. I felt bad making Shane tear apart his room for me, so I tried to think of a good joke. Why are pirates called pirates? Dang, I already regretted this. I don't know why. Because they are. He sneezed from under the bed. He slid out and looked at me from his position on the floor.
What?
Say that again. Couldn't hear. Because... Never mind. He raised his eyebrows again. I changed my mind. It was too painful. Arr. He chuckled and crawled back under the bed. I paused too, taking our assuming look around the room to tap on the leg. I think I'm gonna give up for now.
What?
What? Why? It has to be in my room somewhere. Don't you worry to do it efficiently. I felt bad for stressing him out. Let's just get my mind off it for now. Sure. He whittled up from the floor and sat on the bed. Want to start dog cop then? Yeah. Shane patted the spot next to him, and I sank down to join him. I rested my head on his shoulder and yawned. Ah, but we haven't even started yet.
Well...
I was up all night setting up this picnic for you. I'm sure Dog Cop will wake me up. It sounds so exciting. Despite so close to each other and in his bed, Shane was almost completely fixated on the movie. Thank God. He didn't move a muscle, just stared at the screen as though his life depended on it. Made me feel kind of bad, but he did mention he liked one of the actors. Oh no, I found our feeds coming on. Both at once. Shane sighed, reaching into the darkness, dropping a box of tissues in front of us. As we continued to watch, my neck started to hurt. I shifted a bit with a sniffle, trying not to disturb Shane too much. He let me adjust, his eyes still glued to his laptop. Took this chance to sneak closer to him, closing the small distance left between us. I turned to face him, but he was already looking at me, and we both smiled. We weren't movie talkers. The dog cop, whose name I learned was Boulder, was traveling across the California countryside. He was looking for his long-lost love, a miniature schnauzer. Or should I say, miniature schnauzer doctor. A dog doctor, a dogter? Named Peanut. I rolled my eyes. They embraced passionately at their reunion, talking about their future together. After the 12th minute of this, Shane yawned. I nervously touched the back of my head again, still no bow. So you still think I'm cute?
Yes.
Of course. He turned to me, but kept his eyes on Mr. and Mrs. Dog for as long as he could. Maybe you should try different hairstyles, find one you like. But I do like it tied back, too. He shrugged, gaze flickering back to the touching scene on screen. Maybe I'll grow it out again. Again? It was down on my back for most of my life. Until about a year before I came here, actually. What made you cut it? Nothing specific, it just sorta happened. He glared at me, and I knew that answer wouldn't fly with him. I didn't choose this hairstyle, per se.
What?
What? Your dad? No. Then who? I sighed deeply, not wanting to spoil the mood with something like this. Well, I was bullied for most of my life with my hair. We don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. I should have told you sooner, then maybe... I stopped, but Shane made a face. I bit my lip. Maybe you would have stopped targeting me because of my hair. Not that you still do, but you definitely did earlier in the year. Shane lowered his head, both in acknowledgement and apology. Okay, now I'm more curious. That's one of the biggest reasons I moved here. Shane quickly tapped the spacebar, pausing the dog's big frolic. Then he gave me his full attention. I guess it's story time. I invited my best friend over to a sleepover. Once my former friend group abandoned me, but she was still there for me. I didn't originally want to have a sleepover, but my dad insisted. He saw us struggling and didn't know what to do. When she came, things just like old times. She didn't mention any of what I was being accused of. I felt like maybe things would eventually get better. I fell asleep first. I woke up to the sound of scissors snipping. Michelle was holding pink locks of hair and laughing. My hair, she cut it all off. My dad was understanding. He kept telling me it was cute and everyone liked the new haircut. But I didn't go back to school after that. That's why my dad spent all his money getting me an Asagao. It was the only way I agreed to go back to school. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get in. The day before I left, I was still anxious about my hair. My dad came into my room for a ribbon. He said it was my mother's. He tied up my hair, and for the first time in a long time, I felt cute. You were always cute. Well, maybe, but I didn't feel that way. I was amazed I didn't cry talking about all this. It was the hardest few years of my life, but with Shane next to me, they didn't seem too terribly bad. Shane blinked at me for a few moments and reached to the side of his bed. Then he tossed a pile of papers into my lap. I read the title, The Best Flower in the Garden. What is this? I opened to the first page. Inside was a watercolor comic about a boy and a girl. The girl had pink hair. She was standing with a plainly dressed boy who almost looked like Shane. They seemed to be friends. In the beginning, the boy was afraid to get close to the girl, whom I could now put a name to, Emma. Emma had bright beams of light coming off her. The boy kept trying to reach the girl inside them, but couldn't. I skimmed through page after page. Soon the boy got his own beams of light, one by one, after spending time with Emma. On the last page, they were holding hands in a garden, rainbow lights coming off of them both. Shane? Hana, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I should never have judged you or made fun of your hair. Shane's fine, completely fine. You don't think the comic is weird? Of course not. It's beautiful. It really is. I looked down at the cover in my hands, reading the title one more time. Remember when he told me, in the rooftop garden, that your name means flower? Most beautiful flower in the garden?
Yeah.
Of course. I like the difference between the best ending and the worst ending, because in the worst ending, Anna keeps thinking of Emma as being Emily. In this, Anna doesn't even think that at this point. She can just assign the name Emma to it, and Shane can get his feelings crossed. Of course. Shane pulled me into a hug, warm and comforting. I buried my head into his chest, inhaling deeply. He was wearing cologne. Oh! He stopped suddenly, pulling back. Something slithered out of the back of my jacket. My bow! Must have fallen down back there. See? You would have found it eventually. So he tied the ribbon back into my hair. How's it look? You look perfect. I buried my head into his chest out of pure relief. Thank you, sincerely. Robert's probably coming back soon. It's past the hours I can be here. I didn't really want to leave and end this roller coaster of a day, but I could understand that he would want me gone. I wheeled around, trying to get my things at the edge of that bed, but Shane wouldn't let go. At least finish Dog Cup. I rolled my eyes, trying to be mad. Shane saw through it, and I slouched back into his arms. And so we finished Dog Cop in silence. Boulder saved the world with his dog guns and crazy dog one-liners. He settled down with his now dog wife Peanut, finding a cozy dog house in the American Dog West. The credits rolled, showing both the names of the human body model and the dog head model. Boulder's Dalmatian sidekick's buddy was named Shane. I elbowed Shane to get his attention.
Hey!
Oh, look at his name! I didn't get an answer. Leaned over. Shane's eyes were closed. He was breathing softly, the deep breaths of the vulnerable. I too breathed deeply, still mostly awake. The credits finished and the title screen began again. I quietly closed his laptop and tried to get up. Before I could, Shane grabbed my waist and pulled me back.
Hey.
Tomorrow's a Sunday. Gerard won't mind. I smiled. Could he tell this is what I wanted? Okay. I lay down next to him. Still have butterflies? More than ever. Me too. If things could stay like this forever, only, I would be the happiest person alive. I fell into Shane's arms and fell asleep much faster than I thought. And that would be the best end. Now when we get the best end, they unlock a bonus scene. We're gonna take a look at this real quick. Are you excited? Excited? Are you kidding me? That was a weird frame, skipped on a still frame. I'm actually terrified. I've never been on a plane before, let alone float 12 hours to the other side of the world. Shane chuckled, taking my hand in his. You'll love it. Once you're in the air, you get all the quiet time you want. And we'll be together. Sometimes if you crash, I'll lose a life and life of the person who matters most to me all in one go. I guess there's nothing I can do to convince you. Shane leaned in and kissed me. As he did, my heart stilled. I lost myself in the comfort of his embrace. After a few seconds, he pulled away, a slight grin on his face. Feel better now? Maybe? I'll just have to kiss you every time you get nervous. There's so much work, you know that? Shoved him, not even wanting to hear it. You'll have to get used to having me around. We'll be sharing a bed after all. Shane! I'm just saying, my family's house is tiny, and don't pretend like they don't know what young couples get up to. Shane! Shane grinned yet again at me. I'm just saying. The next day I would be in England to hear if Shane's family are most likely passed out from jet lag. He insisted I meet his family before he graduated from the academy. I had no idea why, but I had my hopes. Still, no matter what happened or what adventures to face, I knew I could do it. Because Shane was by my side. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Extra. Scene. Picker. We did Shane's route. Now we're gonna go over Satch's endings. I guess viewing this takes you back to the title screen, whereas the other ones just bring you back here. Now, Satch's endings are a little bit different because during this route, you're not really necessarily romancing Satch. Really, it's more like trying to be a good friend, and Satch's endings are almost like a grade. So this is the worst end. But he was staring at me soberly. There's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Yeah? I started, taken aback by the sudden gravity. Hana, you're the only one who can make your future happen. You know that, don't you? I wanted to believe him, but looking at what happened over the past few months, trying to convince myself he was right made me want to cry. Things just seem to happen for me. I glanced at him, waiting for a response, but he stood there with his brow furrowed. I kept relying on other people to be kind to me, and even when they were kind, I didn't treat them well in return. I'm really just an awful person. Satch shook his glasses off his face, polishing them on the white linen of his Asagao uniform. When I placed them back on his head, he nodded. You're right. You haven't been the best of people. It was like he punched me in the gut. No, to be honest, I would have preferred that instead. But you have the power to change who you'll be in the future. If you don't like the way things played out, that's on you, isn't it? It can only be on you. You're the only person you can control. Maybe you can't change some of what happens to you, but you can change the way you handle it. He looked pointedly at me. You can learn to handle things better. I gave him a weak smile, trying to hold back my tears. The thing was, he was right. Then that could be my new dream. I'll change myself and I'll become someone others can rely on. You, my family. I'll become an honest person and a good friend. I'm glad. Thanks, Satch. Thank you for everything. And that would be how you get the worst end of Satch. You just be a shithead through the route. Gone. He clapped me on the back. Thanks for all your help, Hana. No problem, it's the least I could do. Satch. Why the hell am I saying Shane? Satch gazed at me for a moment. Suddenly heat rose to my cheeks. Yes, was something you needed? Yeah, actually, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. I swallowed, my mouth suddenly dry. I'm all ears. I think I might leave the academy. What? I thought you said you could stay. Right. I can stay, but I've been thinking about it. About my new dream. I think I really want to see where my skills can take me. The offer is here, and all I have to do is take it. It might not be here in a year.
Thank you.
You've inspired me to dream even bigger. I want to say thank you. You've been a great friend to me. So you're leaving? At the end of the year, so I'll still see you for a while. For a while? I bit my lip, trying not to cry, trying my hardest to smile and be happy for him. This was his decision, after all. Couldn't hold him back. I'm happy for you. I hope things go well. Me too. But don't worry about it just yet. We've got months of time left. Let's see what we can make of it. What could we make of it? Perhaps Edge didn't have feelings for me now, but maybe in the future. Maybe there was a way I could make that dream come true. And now be what the bad end is like. To potential. Unlike the other good endings in this game, you can either win the tournament or lose the tournament and still get this ending. If you are careful with your decisions. He was smiling gently at me. You know, I think you have a lot more potential than you realize. Do I? I made a face, thinking he was full of it, but he laughed. Girl, if you don't believe me, believe these boots. I gazed at the locker. The boots are hidden safely inside. No one can see them, but they were sparkling. The way this ending varies is if you won the tournament, you would be wearing the jacket, obviously, and you point out your jacket instead. You have talent, Hana. I really think you can make something of it. I think you still have a chance to make it with this club. Patch gave me a thumbs up. He believed in me for some reason. I wish I could feel the same way he did. Maybe. Maybe. He laughed again. Give yourself some time. Rest of the year. I'm sure that by the end of it, you'll have turned things on their head again. There's more tournaments coming. Use a bit of a calming presence in the club. Hana. You're kind, determined, caring, smart, talented. Can't do whatever you put your mind to. Well then, I feel bad for the rest of us. By myself, I laughed. As long as you stay beside me, then I'll give it a shot. Ha! I couldn't go anywhere if I tried. I say that, but please watch me as I leave to escort you back to the dorms. It's late, we don't want a repeat of this past month now, do we? No, we do not. Patch opened the club room door. I dashed to catch up with him. Right. Thatch mind the Norbert's club. As long as these people were by my side, anything was possible. That's good end. Best end for Satch. He was staring at me, eyes shining brightly. Satch? Hana, this might come as a surprise to you. I didn't want to bring it up, not while you're going through so much. But I think I've fallen for you. So kind, so hardworking, so... He shook his head at a loss. I was hoping. No. All I wanted was to tell you. I admire you. You inspire me. The whole time I was working on the VR machine, I was thinking of you. How you'd react when you experienced it. What your impression would be. That's why I was able to work so hard, even after I lost my job. I watched you using it during the tournament. To be honest, that felt better than anything that came after it, even winning. So, Thank you. Satch. You, who's been there for me throughout this whole ordeal, who tried to get to the bottom of the boots issue because it was the right thing to do. Who stood by my side even when evidence pointed to the contrary. And here thought my feelings were one-sided.
What?
I laughed and moved to give him a hug. Satch embraced me in turn, beaming. But when? I don't know. It happened somewhere along the way. There wasn't a moment. There were no fireworks. But as time went on, I realized I wanted you by my side no matter what. I couldn't stand the idea that, for whatever reason, it might not be. I kissed him on the cheek. Shush. I lightly smacked him on the shoulder. We ended up sitting there the whole night on the floor of the Norwood's club room, just talking. Together we reflect on how much we learn from each other. Satch, how to rely on others and trust people. And me, how to believe in my power to change situations, trust my friends, to be honest. We were so excited and so happy. We hardly noticed time slipping away until it was already dawn. We said our quiet goodbyes in front of Primrose, and I slipped away to sleep. There was a club meeting the next day, after all. I would see him soon. By the time I got into the club room, everyone else was already seated and waiting. I made eye contact with Satch. A huge grin spread across his face, and I flushed. Better not to look at him. I'd be a dead giveaway.
Satch, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're grinning like a maniac. Is this about your machine? Nope.
What? You're not gonna tell us?
No.
No.
That's not fair.
Okay.
I'll tell you when you guess.
Okay, you got a puppy.
I wish. You found out you're disloyal to Shakespeare.
No.
No, but good guess. You're performing live in concert because you've created a boy band of Gerard and two other kids from Asagao. Ha! A boy band? Like that would ever happen. It wasn't a bad idea. I mean, it exists. Anna, do you have any idea? What? Me? Maybe you got an engineering scholarship? I keep telling you, you'll never guess.
Oh, it's just a matter of time.
But now, why don't we get this meeting started? There's another tournament coming up soon, and we've got a new member to inaugurate. Oh yeah! We gotta do an initiation ritual! Paul cackled, rubbing his hands together like a grasshopper. Wonderful, wonderful. Anna. Don't worry about it, Hana. It won't hurt a bit. And so began the rest of my time at Asagao. Best End. And the scene that you unlock after Best End is this. Louder! I want to hear you scream it to the heavens! I emerged from my dorm the next morning, ready to head to class and stop in front of a spectacle that never in my life I would have expected to see. I am a bad Kappa. Louder! I am a bad Kappa. Why? What were you doing? You didn't think I was just gonna let him get away with this, did you? He gave us weeks of suffering. Yeah, but everything worked out okay. Cut him some slack. I'll cut him some slack when he's dead. Again! I am a bad Kappa! I backed away slowly as other students gathered around the commotion. And bumped into someone. Oh, pardon me. I froze. Miss Shizuka stood next to Saitomo, his arm around her waist. She was absolutely bursting with joy, holding her hand in front of her as if her nails were drying. Oh, Hana, I'm glad you're here. I've been going around announcing it to everybody. I want to include my favorite student. Favorite student? Me and Charles have decided to get married. He screamed his last word out to the heavens as if sending a signal to another planet. I heard it bounce off Mars, ricochet towards Saturn. Jesus. That's a Toho reference. When? I glanced over Saitomo and he winked at me. All at once I remembered running into him in the dead of the night and how he walked me back to my dorm without ever saying a word against my being out. Was it because he was sneaking around to see Miss Shizuka? I stared at the two as Shizuka leaned over to kiss Saitomo on the cheek. I never seen her happier, and Miss Saitomo seemed 10 years younger in his presence. I shook my head.
Seriously?
I wish you both great happiness. Thank you, Hana. I am sure we will have it. Yes, I agree. Miss Shizuka wrapped her hands in Mr. Saitomo's. My prince has finally come. I waved and passed them, giving them all the privacy they so clearly desired. As I headed across campus, a voice called out to me.
Hana.
There you are. How are you doing? I shook my head.
Well...
Satch, life at Asagao Academy never gets easier. No. He slid an arm around my shoulder, grinning mischievously. Okay, maybe some things do. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Asagao Academy, normal boots.
I am gonna turn the volume up a little bit. There we go. More extras, scene picker. We're gonna go to continues next. Their endings. So, continues endings also all happen after a tournament's over. And there's a point where you have to make a decision about whether you end up doing something bad, or if you're able to help settle these guys down, or if you're able to have them like work together and do well. So the worst end is what happens when you end up, let's just say that there's a point in which if you make a certain decision, another one opens up. The scene where Caddy has guns. You can choose, if you make a certain decision earlier before that point, you can choose whether you turn him in or not. This is what happens when you turn him in. You end up revealing like it to like the whole crowd, and it's a very easy win for normal boots. Me. Also, all these happen after he opens up the envelope to see who the winner is of the election. Me. Paul sat down in the car, a strange look passing over his face. It's me. I bounded across the stage to him, positively beaming.
Yay!
You did it! Paul, you did it! You won! Paul glared at me, a look of pure loathing in his eyes. I won nothing. He ripped the card in two and tossed it into my face. I flinched.
What?
What the hell? Why aren't you happy? You got exactly what you wanted, didn't you? We played dirty just like you wanted to in the beginning, right? I don't see what the problem is. You were fine with this in the beginning.
No.
This isn't how I wanted to win. I didn't want to hurt my friends. I didn't want to get Caddy expelled and sent back to England. I didn't want to force people to vote for me. I don't understand. He threw up his hands. Forget about it. Forget it. I'm finishing up my plan, then I'm resigning from my position. Someone else can be president, someone who actually earned it. And you? He looked me up and down. For a moment I thought he was actually going to spit on me. I never want to see you near me or my friends. Never again.
Paul.
Paul? As he walked away, confetti balls popped above me. Colorful pieces of paper fell around me, tickling my neck and landing in my hair. I did as Paul wished. I stopped visiting him in the Normal Boots Club. At first I was terribly lonely, but after a while... What do you say we start up that band?
What?
What band? The Pardon Mize. I'll learn to play drums, you can sing and play bass or whatever. I think it'll be fun. My sab of a jolt. Really?
Really?
You're up for that?
Yeah!
Of course. It wasn't like I had anything else to do.
Yay!
Alright, in that case, I've had this idea for a while. Life was hard, decisions were hard, things could always go wrong. But no matter what, things could also get better. As mine and I started composing songs in our tiny little dorm room, I started to feel happy again. I felt like I belonged again. No matter how badly things went, I always had her. That was what truly mattered. And that's how you get the worst end for Paul's route. You lose everybody but Mai. Now, what happens if Jeff wins the election? Jeff is the new student council president. Paul says hands down, defeated in almost every sense of the word. A beaming Jeff bounded on stage and took the podium, glancing over his new populace. Everyone, thank you so much for taking this leap of faith and trusting me. Really, thank you so much. Paul stumbled off stage. Nick, Josh, and I followed him. He slumped against the wall, knees pulled to his chest. Hey, Paul. He looked at us with a sad smile. I guess I can kiss that dream goodbye. There's always next year. I realized the folly as soon as I said it. Paul was graduating, so were Nick and Josh. There was no next year for them. Nick, Josh, and I knew there was nothing that we could say. Instead, we lined up next to Paul, pulling our knees to our chests as well.
Look at us, the failed campaigners.
They could take a picture of us and use it as a movie poster. Paul chuckled. The story of 4 abject failures in their attempts to defy fate. Hey, I would watch it, even if the ending was a bit depressing. All 4 of us laughed, only the slightest bitterness audible.
Paul.
So, Paul, what are you going to do with all your extra free time? I think I'm going to... Healing his head against the wall. Paul? He's asleep.
Again?
As we stood guard over the president of our hearts, Nick and Josh discussed various ways of getting enough funding to make a film. Just because Asagao wasn't going to help them get the equipment didn't mean it was impossible, especially now that they had more time than ever. I smiled. Somehow people always found their way through. I closed my eyes too and heard Paul bumble something next to me. Thanks for being my campaign manager, Hana. Really and truly, thank you. That'd be the bad end of Paul. Good end. Me! It's me! Paul looked up from the envelope, a smile of pure disbelief lighting his face.
Yeah!
I won! I'm president again! It wasn't much of a formal announcement, but judging from the student reactions, Paul could be given just this once. Cheer rose up from the majority of the students, though a few made faces and sulked. I ran onto the stage into Paul's arms, where he pulled me into a deep bear hug. Small popping noise went off above us, confetti sparkling from the ceiling. Hana, I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much for everything. His eyes softened as he held me in his arms. I closed my eyes, waiting for our inevitable kiss. Hana, you okay? My eyes fluttered open, Paul staring at me with concern. Is the excitement too much for you? No, I was just... I had something stuck in my eye. I stepped out of his arms, heart beating rapidly. Of course not. Of course that wasn't the case. Paul viewed me platonically, and he had always viewed me platonically. What was I expecting? Some kind of movie ending? I berated myself. Josh and Nick bound on stage.
Yeah!
Hell yeah! I knew you'd win. No doubts in my mind.
You were hyperventilating earlier.
I just choked on my water. Two pulled me and Paul into a giant hug. So, Hana, you might not be part of the No Boots Club, but how do you feel about joining Continue? We need someone to keep us level, and you're just the gal to do it. Tears filled my eyes, and I blinked them rapidly away.
Yay!
Of course, I'd love to. Sometimes in life, you don't get exactly what you want. But that's okay. Because sometimes, you end up with something even better. Good end is you join Continue. And now we go cover the best ending. Me! It's me! Paul looked up from the envelope, a smile of pure disbelief lighting his face.
Yeah!
I won! I'm president again! It wasn't much of a formal announcement, but judging for the student reactions, Paul appeared just this once. Part of this is still the same as the best ending. I mean, the good ending. It's changed at a different point here. A cheer rose up from the majority of the students, so a few made faces and sulked. Around the stage, Paul's arms were pulled me into a deep bear hug. Small popping noise went off above us, confetti sparkling from the ceiling. This is the difference right here. Paul pulled away from me and tucked a stray bit of hair behind my ear. Hana, I have a bit of a confession to make. I'm no fool. As much as I love honesty, I wasn't being honest to you or myself. As we spent more and more time together managing campaign and messing ourselves silly, I found myself drawn to you. I thought it was just a matter of the election, that I wanted your skills or your aura. I knew Nick and Josh had a thing for you, and I didn't want to step on their toes, so I did everything I could to convince myself my feelings were romantic, but I can't do that anymore. I followed you on your date because the idea of someone else going on a date with you was driving me insane. And now, I can finally admit that maybe it wasn't really the election I wanted to win. Well, I mean, it was. Definitely was, but even more than that, I wanted to win your heart.
Paul.
Paul? That's the single cheesiest thing I've ever heard you utter. Really? Is it? I sort of said much worse things. Cheese, like craft style. Could need some bread to put that on so bad. Paul rolled his eyes. Uh-huh. I'm sure you don't like it one bit. Well, I didn't say that. I giggled helplessly and Paul lifted me to the air, planting a swift kiss on my lips. Ha! Now what are you going to do about it? Blushing furiously, I leaned and kissed him back, right there in front of everybody.
Oi, oi, lovebirds, stop it, you're going to make us all sick.
Paul and I untangled ourselves from each other, blushing furiously. What on earth are you gonna do with you two? I swear, that was the most painful thing in the world to watch. You two are so obvious. Obvious? I am not obvious.
In any case,
Josh slung his arms around Nick and Paul's necks. You slung their arms around mine. I reciprocated until we were in a football-like huddle.
it seems like we were always a four-person team. We just didn't know it. We're glad to have you on, Hana.
I beamed. The days I spent watching the three of them have fun without me were long gone. Now I was not only part of the Norboots Club, but also part of them. Part of Continue. I'm so happy.
Oh god, she's crying.
What do we do? What do we do? Find some chocolate! A stuffed animal! Find anything comforting, quick! As the three of them darted around the stage like maniacs, I giggled. It was the start of a great year. The credits started rolling and Paula paused the video. Well, what do you guys think? After months of work, the film club's first feature-length movie was complete, and Norboots Club were the first privileged to see it. Paul, Nick, and Josh stared us down. We shifted uncomfortably. Well, I mean, it's not bad. Especially not for a student film.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can see you put some thought into the cinematography, trying to make it like a third character in the story.
Alright.
We did! Yeah, you tried. That was other shite. It wasn't that bad though, not for your first work. The three of them seemed to collapse in on themselves, as if Shane's words were a black hole and their souls all matter in the physical universe. You're only gonna go up from here. You never made a film before and there's a lot of talent in here. Really, there is. Thanks guys, I guess we'll just try harder.
Either way, Hana, did you see Mai's latest column in the paper?
As Paul, Nick, and Josh started the film club, they had to make some hard decisions. There was no way they'd be able to continue the continue column without also being in Norboots Club, running student council, and making films. When I told him about my secret ambition to be a writer, Paul's eyes lit up.
What?
Another aspiring writer? That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Of course, Mai's personality translated particularly well to the paper, coming through like a demented foghorn. Unfortunately, this meant people often had a bone to pick with her opinions and analyses. Yeah, she said Sang Zoom actually wasn't that bad of a game. Are you sure she's alright in the head? I could hear Mai shouting, "It is for the greater good. I serve my muse and live only for the truth," without even thinking about it. Honestly, I'm not too sure about that. That's accurate. Well, it was fun showing you guys this, but we're gonna have to get back to the council. Word has it just have some ideas that can improve Asagao. We don't want to keep him waiting. Paul wrapped an arm around my waist and I grinned. Sure. Life in Asagao was never particularly easy, quiet, or calm. But it was, and would always be, fun. And that would be the best end. And now the scene that unlocks after we get the best end in this route is MLPS. Mr. Saitomo sat in his desk chair, a contented sigh leaving his lips. It's always exciting to be involved in a good story. He pulled out several thick tomes from the bottom of his desk, searching for one in particular. Finally discovering an old red leather-bound book, he tossed it on the top of his desk and took out a magnifying glass. The book itself was written in extremely fine print. Mr. Saitomo's eyes were not the same as they once were. It took him ages to locate the passage he was searching for. When he finished reading it, he sat back, a slight smile on his lips. So sad, Momoka. I wish you could see her now. She'll become something great, I know. She could hardly not with her particular talent. I hope you're not angry. She couldn't help it. He sighed, fingering a silver scarf at the edge of his desk. At least Mops isn't easy to seize. He departed and felt no pain. He left a great legacy for your daughter to follow. But it's cruel. I suppose the main character's powers have to come from somewhere. It'd be unfair if they were simply born with more fortune than the rest of us. At some point, though, she'll find out. She'll find a picture of herself when she was young, before hair was pink. Back when her mother was still alive. Before she was a protagonist. He took out a pipe and lit it, dropping a small amount of tobacco inside. I only hope that she does not blame herself. Mother of protagonist syndrome. It's a cruel world we live in.
Asagao Academy.
And that's the importance of pink hair.
Club.
Scene picker. 2 endings. We're gonna go with PBG's next. So, in PBG's route, what basically happens is that you're trying to adjust to the fact that PBG has changed. Now, this either backfires on you horribly and you treat him the same way that you've always treated him, with the worst scenario being the worst end, obviously. Or you end up acknowledging it and accepting it, and while still kind of sticking into like what you guys were like in the past during your childhood and getting the best end. So let's see what happens when we don't trust him. We try to do everything, control everything ourselves. This is also one of the ways in which the game can end early during PBG's route. Because this is when you can choose to either tell him about it or not tell him about it. If you made him mad before this point, and you decide not to tell him about it, you get this scene. It's not that I don't trust you, but...
No.
No. It is that you don't trust me. Hana, have you noticed how you've been treating me? Hi. What are you talking about? He looked at his hands. He seemed to be thinking about something, thinking very intently. Finally, he squared his shoulders and looked me straight in the eye. I'm not that little kid anymore, okay? What are you talking about? Stop trying to control me. Stop trying to take care of me and tell me what to do. You can't boss me around anymore. I don't need you to live my life. For some reason, anger started rising within me. Apparently you do. Or haven't you noticed how you're constantly risking your health? How you stress yourself out so much? You ask me, you only have yourself to blame for getting injured. I told you something like this would happen. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I wanted to take it back. Yuji's jaw dropped and his eyes widened. He stared at me, but what could I do? I already said it. It was done. Yuji closed his mouth and looked away. I thought... Look, if you don't want to trust me, if you don't want to let me live my own life, if you don't want to be my friend, then what are you even doing here? Hi. Forget it. Going to get lunch. The door shut behind him and I fell into my chair. Was it true? I had been doing this the whole time? Why would he want me Why would he want anything more to do with me? Why'd I even bother? He didn't talk to me again after that. I didn't sit at Norwood's table anymore. It was like an unspoken bond was broken. I didn't get it. She asked me to repeatedly what happened, why things are like this, why she didn't spend more time with Jared. I started hanging her too. In the end, I dropped out of the tournament. What was the point? I didn't want to spend time with them anymore. I didn't want to spend time with PBG anymore. He was right. PBG was different from the peanut bar gamer I knew as a kid. I liked the old him better. I want my peanut bar gamer back. First end. Da 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 da. Yeah. And the other endings happen after the tournament. The bad end is what you get if PBG loses his game. Don't open it right away, okay? Wait until you're alone. He released me, a slight tint to his face.
Okay. Well,
Anyways, thank you for everything, Hana. Without waiting for my reply, I disappeared into the arcade where the others were starting to clean up. PG came to stand by my side, practically on top of me, looking disgruntled. Huh? Are you sure those letters were fake? Hi. Well, no one can sincerely be that corny in their love letters, right? But even as I said it, doubts formed in my mind. I glanced at the pristine envelope in my hands. The last letters Luke would ever write me. He didn't send them well at all, and even tried to scare me. But if that were the case, why was he giving me this last letter? He said he liked me in those art letters. Of course it was all a charade, but he did say it. Maybe... He just screwed up his face and took a deep breath. Hana, Then he stopped, his eyes wide.
Hmm?
Huh? He shoved his hands in his pockets, eyes trained on a point far behind me. Never mind.
What?
Were you gonna say something? No. No, I was not. He sighed and reached out a hand and pet the top of my head. Hey!
Hana.
I hope it goes well for you. But what are you talking about? I'll support you. If it ever makes you sad, let me know. I'll beat him up real good. Huh? Hey, get your hands off my head. It's not fair you can use your head against me like that. He chuckled and led the way towards the door. I didn't know why, but I felt like something ended right there. Something big. Something more than just a tournament. Sunlight was fading by the time I got back to my dorm room. I said goodbye to PG in front of her rose, and for some reason he stood and watched me walk into the building. It wasn't late enough to be dangerous. Jeez, he was too protective. Something about the look on his face bothered me. It really felt like he was saying goodbye, but it was probably better to let him be. Besides, I had a letter to read. With trembling hands, I opened up Luke's last letter. Hana, I know I have a lot to explain, and I hope that this does everything justice. See, I knew as soon as PPG saw you walk up to the front of the class that the poor boy was hopelessly in love with you. I watched you interact at lunch, and it slowly started to drive me crazy. He loved you, but wasn't doing anything about it. After nothing happened at the festival, I decided to take matters in my own hands. Initially, I just wanted to be another Suda, hoping that it would spark a fire and make him hurry up. I was trying to be super generic and cliche, compare you to C and such. I know, kinda lame. Then PPG let slip that he still hadn't made a move, and so I took matters in my own hands. I wanted to do something big and theatrical. Something truly romantic. I'm a host romantic myself, after all. And in movies, there's always that obstacle to overcome that gets coupled together. Truthfully, I didn't write those last notes. I got them from Thylight, the most romantic movie in the past 10 years. With those, I knew PPG would really come and fend for you. It was like a big, huge opera. PPG saves you from the masked caper. An amazing, movie-like moment. At least I hope it was. But since that still didn't work, I had to act like I was in love with you. It should be obvious by now, but I'm not. Not that you're not great or anything, but PPG's the one for you. Hopefully this finally got homeboy in gear. Because, honestly, nothing is more than our friendship. Please don't hate me for doing all that, but I know PPG. He was too afraid to show you his heart until he had to fight to protect you. If I'm not mistaken, he fought pretty hard, didn't he? Yeah, I know, I'm awesome. Got your back, girl. Anyways, wishing you the best, Luke. I set the letter to the side, laid down on my bed. Luke. And that's how you can get the bad end. You get the good end. These overlap with each other a good bit. This one just has a cutscene. Without waiting for Luke's okay, I tore the letter open. Whoa, Hana, wait. Hana, I know I have a lot to explain. Hope this is everything justice, blah. What was this? Confused, I started reading aloud. See, I knew as soon as PG saw you walk up to the front of the class that the poor boy was hopelessly in love with you, blah blah blah, I allowed you to interact with lunch. We've seen this already. We see this letter once more after this. Do 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 do. Got it back, girl. Wish you the best. Wait, so this means you...
Go for it.
I was trying to get you two together, of course. Come on, man. You don't think I'd actually try to hurt somebody, do you? Wait, did I actually scare you? Oh man, I'm so sorry if I did. That was not my intention at all. So you don't want to date Hana?
No.
PG dude. No, man, no. No offense, Hana. None taken. In fact, thank you. I see that look. I'm getting out of here. I think you two need to talk a little bit alone. Wait, what? Wait, so... the letters. You mean you don't like Luke? Of course not. The letters are nice, but they didn't do anything for me. But why not? Well, tell the truth. It's because they didn't sound anything like you. I said almost all without thinking, but by the time the words were out of my mouth, I was blushing furiously. That was it, the whole time. That was why I wasn't happy about having a admirer. That was why I asked the letters to stop. That was why I asked PBG to help me stop them. I wanted him to be the one writing the letters this whole time. At first, I couldn't see him as anything but as our best friend. The little boy used to cheer up and safe from the ever-present threat of alien invasion. He was still that little kid to me. But over time, I realized how much he changed. He didn't need me to look out for him anymore. Said he was the one looking out for me. I tried to convince myself that my feelings weren't romantic, that he was like a good brother to me, that he was a very special friend. Dependable, hardworking, funny, and also very kind. But I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't lie to myself. Thought I'd be satisfied just being his friend. I could stand by his side as long as he returned, and there would be no more danger of losing my place. It was less risky than romance. We would definitely stick together forever. Sorry. But even with the potential for new Sierra on the horizon, I couldn't. I wanted PBG, wanted to be with him. I stared at him, hardly daring to breathe, watching for his next move. So you knew? What? I'm so sorry if I ever made you uncomfortable. I really didn't want to. I've been trying to confess for a while, but I kept feeling maybe you didn't like me in that way. Maybe you just wanted to stick to being friends. I couldn't bear the thought that I would confess to you and reject me and wouldn't feel comfortable being my friend anymore. I didn't want to make you feel like I was just your friend to date you or something, because our friendship really means a lot to me, even though I liked you ever since we were little. Not that it was something I was ever going to tell you. But you could probably tell, and this is probably making you feel uncomfortable. I'm so sorry that this is the case. I'm very sorry that I misinterpreted your feelings. I understand that you just wanted to be friends. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to be really sad about it for a while. I don't promise I won't punch out Luke if it ever bothers you, but if I can at least stand by your side for a while longer, even just as your friend, I'd be happy. But I think I got the flustered thing down well. He stared at the ground, flushed. I'm just going to go now, sorry. He started for the exit faster than my mind could catch up with what he said. You mean, you, like me? But he was out of earshot. Horrified, I ran after him. He hadn't gotten far. Quickly I ran up to him and grabbed a hold of his sleeve. Where are you going? He froze, not looking up or turning around. Do you really not know after all this? I love you. He looked at me in utter shock. You do? Why? Stupid is all he had to say. He searched my eyes and started beaming. My gosh, you're serious. Of course I'm serious. He grabbed me around the waist, lifting me in the air, spinning me in circles. You love me. I just said that. I love you. Don't say that, you're being too loud. I can't help it, I'm happy. He set me down. A world spun before my eyes. I gripped his wrist to steady myself. You. He kissed me. This was... In moments my shock faded and relaxed into him. It was... warm. He pulled away from me and looked at each other, eyes glistening. But I didn't want to stop. I grabbed the front of his shirt and pulled him down towards me again, but...
Alright.
It's about time. It's about time. PJ and I sprang apart. She had something in her teeth. I was just trying to headbutt him. Oh no, you can't fool me. I'd recognize the looks on your face in the heat of battle. He went to PG, stammered out some more excuses as the rest of the Roboot's crew pulled up behind Jared.
Alright.
Did they finally manage to confess their feelings? Even better, they were making out.
Whoa!
Dude! I know. I was just starting to think PG would never get around to it. What's that supposed to mean?
Well...
You're a bit of a wuss. I am not. This is totally not in front of my character. Besides, I was the one who confessed in the end. Shane glanced at me and I looked away. Hana seems to think differently. Hana? I mean, it was kind of just a happenstance? Hana, back me up here. Point being, now I know. Lame, dude. Whatever. PG strode across me and put his arm around me. Hana's my girlfriend now, so you guys can totally suck it.
Yeah.
I got the best girl there is. Be jealous.
I don't know.
Huh, I don't know about that. I glared at him. Rude. Is it really? He chuckled.
I'll see you.
Anyhow, anyway, I have some place to be. I'll catch you lovebirds later. With that, he headed off in the direction of Primrose house. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, we should tell him. What? That wasn't what I was thinking. Oh, what were you? Nope, tailing him. Right, let's go. Cocked an eyebrow at him, but he avoided my eyes. My hand gently in his, we followed Jared to Primrose House. Together, we could do anything. I believe that. That'd be the good end. Now, the thing is, when you get the best end, it unlocks the good end automatically. Just because a lot of this is the same. Because we're going to skip through this and see how it's different.
Go for it. No.
Well, here's the primary difference. Well, obviously, Hana has the Norbu's jacket on. Right about... Right about here is where it differs. He kissed me. Huh. Shock faded and relaxed into him. It was warm. Pulled away from me, looked at each other, eyes glistening. But I didn't want to stop. Grabbed the front of his shirt and pulled him down towards me, but everything else here is actually the same text. Now, after we get the best end, we see what happens after tailing him. After tailing Jared. Huge and I crept silently to the door of my dorm room, pressing our ears against it. Whatever mind Jared were up to, we wanted to catch them in the act. They were giggling like maniacs, absolutely giddy out of their minds. I traded looks to BHU, who nodded at me and winked. Pulled out my key and slowly, ever so slowly, fit it into the lock. Thankfully, I let out a huge laugh as I did so, and the sound of the keys in the lock seemed to go unnoticed. BG leaned towards me, whispering in my ear, I hope you don't find him in a compromising situation. He leaned back, eyes gleaming. I held him in the side, my face aflame. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I flung open the door. PG and I ran into the room. Maya and Jared looked up at us in shock. We stared back. Small dice lay on the floor in front of them, along with several sheets of paper and tiny action figures that, to look closer, resembled them.
What?
What? I'm ruined! Maya slung an arm around Jared's shoulders, laughing merrily. No, you're not, Yoku. Hana's not going to do anything. Actually, do you guys want to join our campaign? I'm in a bit of a scrape. I could really use a cleric to help. And that was how Maya and Jared somehow started dating. D&D. Hell yes. It's a good game.
Asagao Academy,
I like it.
Normal Boots Club.
Now it's Jimmy. Now we've done PG's endings, did Kitty's Actions and Chains. Let's go to John's endings now. Now, John's is interesting because usually how it's structured is that the worst ending, Han did something wrong. In the bad ending, something on the guy is wrong. Good ending is when Hana doesn't win the tournament, usually. The exception being Satch's route. And the best ending is where both sides are kind of against each other. It's like, I guess the bad end could be interpreted as the guy kind of loses feelings for Hana sort of ending. That may differ a bit here and there. But for John, the worst ending is you end up doing something wrong. We'll see. It's about the death of Jocks. John and I headed onto campus, hands intertwined. For the first time in a long while, it seemed like we were both truly happy. Nothing could hold us back. As we turned towards the theater and crossed paths with other students, whispers began following us. Look, there they are. No way. How can they just walk around as if nothing is wrong? You should be so ashamed. At first I thought it was because of the tournament, but it wasn't long until I heard the word Jacques rise on people's lips. They failed because Jean killed the original Jacques. Poor Jacques, do you think he did it on purpose? John stopped walking. Then he slipped his hand out of mine. What the hell is this message? Oh. I see. I'll look at that later. Then he slipped his hand out of mine. Hana? You didn't happen to tell anybody what happened to Jacques, did you?
No, of course not. What did
I paled. My. Of course, my. John saw the look on my face and slowly backed away from me, shaking his head. I knew it. I knew it. I knew there had to be something wrong with you. I knew I couldn't trust you. I knew that it was too good to be true. Shane was right this whole time. He told me not to trust you. He told me to be wary of pink-haired girls. But did I listen? How could he have told someone? I'm gonna be followed by rumors and reminders of what happened to Jacques for the rest of the year. We're over. I'm sorry, but I can't do this. And thanks for lurks, Cinemax.
No, John.
John walked away from me without a backward glance. My. Oh, Hana, what's up?
How could you? Hana.
What happened? What's going on? Why'd you tell everyone about Jacques? I trusted you. What are you talking about? I didn't tell anybody. No, how come the whole campus is talking about it? I don't know. Maybe someone else overheard. Maybe John told.
It's not.
You can't seriously think that I did it. Stop with the excuses. I don't ever want to talk to you again. First, John, now my. No, now the entire Normal Boots Club. There was no way they'd ever forgive me, and it's not like I ever helped them out anyways. I lost the tournament. It went without saying that I was probably out of the play, too. Feeling tears coming on, I shuffled into the bathroom. And straight into Mimi. Also, I used this as a thumbnail for one of my coverings of the diary entries back when I was doing the Let's Play on YouTube initially. Because I had her read a diary that she picked up. It was hers.
Mimi.
Well, Hana, rough day?
Maybe.
I'll say. Such a shame that our dorm's doors are so thin. Maybe then people could have a little privacy. But then I wouldn't be able to take an arrogant bitch down a few pegs. We can't have that.
Maybe you?
Me? What about me? I wasn't the one who told it in the first place. Have fun with your friends.
Da 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 da. Now that's how you do a worst end. Bad end is going to be relatively short. It went without saying that I did not end up joining the Normal Boots Club. In any case, I wasn't sure I even wanted to be in the Normal Boots Club after everything that happened. After all, what did I get from being so close to them? Torn rabbit, embarrassing performance, also blame for dissolving the drama club, a bad reputation, and a broken heart. It was stupid. It was pointless. I should have known better than entertain the idea that could amount to anything more while I was at home. Jesus. At least I made one friend who I knew would stick by me forever.
You're my best friend, Hana.
You're my best friend, Hana. I didn't mind that. That was all that mattered. The bad end is what happens when the play goes so wrong that Hana doesn't even become Juliet. And the good end is what happens when, well, Hana loses the tournament, but the play does go well. Because usually the way the good end works is that the person that she's interested in will win the tournament, but she'll lose her part of the tournament. But because John will lose his no matter what, it hinges on the play.
What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by other name would spell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes, without that title. Romeo doth thy name, And for the net, which is no part of the take all myself.
In the end, the rest of the play went off without a hitch. I wasn't the best actress in the world, but it took 3 performances before John got familiar gleam to his eye.
You know, Hana, I can really see you becoming something.
What, like a tree?
I stand by that decision. But no, I mean something else, something even more than a tree.
And more your girlfriend too, of course?
Don't bring your good name into this. No, I think you have a chance because something of an actress.
John, you can't be serious.
Hear me out, hear me out. You're so cute and cuddly that people can't help but want to root for you in our plays. You know, when you try to be confident, you come off like a little teddy bear, just wanting to be held.
What? Seriously? Oh, that's a problem then. I wouldn't be able to play serious characters convincingly.
No, that's your niche.
You're serious. I can't believe you're genuinely serious.
Of course I am. JonTron never jokes about anything, ever. So here's what we're gonna do. We'll have practice every night from 5 to 7. I'll pick out some monologues for you to memorize. You can go on auditions. Starting off learning Stanislavski's method.
We're really doing this, aren't we? Are you sure this isn't just a play get me all to yourself?
People have been asking too much of you at the club meetings, yes? I'd say it's just a happy side effect.
Even though John could be a little hard to handle sometimes, there was one thing I never doubted. He made me happy. And that was all I ever wanted. Plus, maybe there was something for me in this acting thing after all. Only time would tell. But with John by my side, I was confident I would have a great time. Good then. And for the best end is what happens when Hana wins the tournament and the play goes well. This is when Satch took Jacques under his wing and enlisted the help of the only other person in all the academy who would understand robots. Kakasu.
I don't understand. Why her of all people? Is she part of the electronics club or something?
Don't worry about it.
John paced the floor like an expectant father, glancing up every so often at how the operations were proceeding.
John, don't worry. Chuck can't get any worse than he already is.
I know that, Hana. I know.
John stopped pacing, instead coming to rest his head on my shoulder, and drink went.
Over here. No, he can't get any worse. But what if he gets better? Part of me wants him to come back, and part of me...
John?
What if he doesn't have his memories anymore? What if he's got a completely different personality? What if he doesn't like me?
That you only have that to fear if you were Hana in the Jacques group.
I don't know where am I going to deal with that.
John, I really don't think you need to worry about that.
A small thud came from inside the room and John jumped.
Everything okay?
Nothing to report.
We've got it handled. John resumed pacing the floor. No matter what I did, nothing would calm him down. He was beyond help. Finally, the operations were done, and Satch and Kakasu approached us nervously.
Well, how'd it go?
The operation was a complete success. John. I've missed you, John.
Shock.
The rest of us left after that. John was cheering up, and we thought it best to give him some privacy. In fact, I didn't see him for several days. But eventually... he flies.
He can even fly now. Can you believe that? Actually, Kakasu did some kind of optimization on him, so his wires don't run through his wings anymore. He's happy as a clam.
Jack swooped down between us for a split second, just long enough to add, I present that...
I really think he'd be a star someday, Hana.
I'm sure he can, John. I'm sure he can.
You'll see what I have to say about that. John and I are officially dating. Shock ever present third wheel. Well, that was how I would have liked it to be. To be honest, it was more like I was the third wheel. John and Jacques' bond, stronger than steel and wire, surpassed even the love John and I had for each other. but I didn't mind. All I care about was seeing John happy, and if Jacques was a part of that, well, maybe I could learn to love Jacques too. I have a bright future ahead of me. I believe this.
Yeah! You do, you do. Together we'll be the best actor manager pair the world's ever seen. You'll see your name in lights if it's the last thing I ever do. Believe it. And of course, Hana will be by our side the whole way through. Right, Hana?
Yeah. Of course.
Sorry, there was a weird thing going on there.
Man, this is great. I got 2 talented actors with me, not to mention a girlfriend I absolutely know I can count on. We've got a bright future ahead of us, I just know it.
Not if I can help it.
These two.
It looks like I'd be stuck with them for a long time to come. And to be honest, that sounded wonderful to me. Best end. And when you get the best end, you get this one, your star. Jacques, over here, please look at me.
No, over here. Sign my autograph. I love you. You've created a monster.
No, I've created a star.
I have to admit, I had my doubts about this whole Jacques as a superstar deal, but I guess he knew exactly what you were doing.
I know, right?
Hey, hell yeah, I did.
Jacques was now an internationally recognized celebrity with fans from several countries in all walks of life. They came from far and wide to see this amazing acting bird. At first, he was just a novelty, but it seemed that the first time someone saw him perform live, they fell in love. His fandom grew exponentially until we had to take him on tour, and he started getting television and movie offers. Jacques just had a way about him that just made people want to love him. It was an odd turn of events, but I was enjoying the ride, for the most part.
And now that Jacques is a star, I'm ready to set my eyes on my next.
You're next?
John winked at me. I didn't like that look. But that was a discussion for another day. John watches birds, stars in his eyes.
My beloved Jacques.
I mean, would it kill him to pay more attention to his astro girlfriend? I decided to wrap an arm through John's. Some things would never change.
Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club.
And Paul says it. I'm gonna turn up the voice volume a little bit. There we go. I think there's good for voice. Configure. No, why am I configuring? Extra is what I wanted to do. Scene picker. We've gone through all of John's endings. Let's go through Jared's. Jared's and Gerard's. Jared and Gerard both have 5 endings. In addition to having their worst end, bad end, good end, best end, Jared has a very bad end. And Gerard has a not a very bad end, but has a different kind of end. Anyway. So, Jared's is weird because both his extra ending and his worst ending end early, obviously. But his extra ending actually ends earlier than the worst ending. Like... Okay, let's see here. So the worst ending is when you argue with him enough to make him cut you off. So let's go to Immaculate, the worst end.
No, I won't. Jared, I'm sick and tired of you being like this. I'm not going to enable you. I'm not going to help you. If you want to keep lying to people being destructive like this, I don't want to help.
Jared turned away from me, staring absent-mindedly at the TV, breathing deeply. I think you should leave.
Fine, I will. I can't believe this. First you act like a crazy person, then you demand for me to be as perfect as you pretend to be. It's just a little too much.
Hana, I think we should break up. I stopped, one hand hovering over my backpack.
What?
We clearly don't make each other happy, so we should break up. He looked lovely at me. Not a spark of emotion on his face, he shut down and shut me out.
But...
I'll see you at the tournament. He swore on his chair and pulled out one of his DM books. As I stood and watched, he scribbling on the page, completely and utterly ignored me. Hot tears rolled down my cheeks. I stood there, hovering over his couch, watching him, for minutes, for a long time, waiting for him to turn around. I don't know how much time had passed, but when I finally grabbed my backpack and leave room, my legs were stiff. I never made it to the tournament. There was no way I could show my face there after Jared dumped me. It didn't take long for word to get to the rest of the students, and I fell somewhere between a laughingstock and a puppy stuck out in the rain. Half people made fun of me for daring to date him in the first place. The others mourned how much I must have sucked to cause Jared of all people to break up with me. He should be able to make it work with anyone, the theory went. So I was branded, broken, crazy, ugly, insecure, a number of words. Eventually I stopped caring. Maya was the only person who stood by me through the whole thing, maintaining my innocence. Sometimes things just go that way, she said. I wanted to agree with her. I desperately wanted to agree with her. But no matter what I did, I couldn't fight the feeling that somewhere, somehow, I messed up. If I could just figure out where, maybe. Worst end. Now, the very bad end is weird because it's when Hana initiates a thing. Honestly, nobody was worth sacrificing myself for. He wasn't going to treat me reasonably well. There were other fish in the sea. The next day I broke up with Jared. It was awkward and uncomfortable. I tried to explain my reasons, but he kept shrugging and nodding. Yeah, it's fine, I understand. He kept repeating that and staring over my head. I wondered whether he saw this coming or whether he had believed I would stick around. I felt bad. Bad enough that I no longer wanted to be around him. Bad enough that even being around him turned to a painful experience. He stopped coming to the cafeteria with us. After a certain point, I felt like I never saw him. Tension extended from him and me to the entirety of Normal Boots Club. When Maya and I came to the table, it felt like they couldn't truly talk. No one was happy about how I made their friend feel, and though I know it, they didn't hold it against me personally, I also understood that they weren't comfortable around me. Because of that, I pulled out of the tournament. Maya comforted me when I cried about it.
Don't worry, next year we'll form our own team. We'll be the Pardon Mice. We'll totally kick their asses.
That was what she said. And with nothing left to look forward to, I agreed. Maybe I didn't need to join Normal Boots Club, or date anybody for the time being. As of now, I had Mai, I had a school, and I had some glimmer of hope in the future. That was enough for me. And as for Jared... My lovely ladies. He was the same as always. After the alcohol situation blew over, he returned to his normal self. Well, normal. He seemed to be even more over the top than before. You could catch a whiff of his ham cologne 10 feet before he turned the corner, and which at least made it easy to avoid him. He was the same as ever, but this time with everybody, even the Normal Boots Club. I worried about him sometimes, but the bottom line is that he had his life to lead, and I had mine. So even though it's the very bad end, it is the Hana is confident end. Now, all these end up where at the same general area after the tournament. Let's go see the bad end. Instead of Jared bursting into his outburst against his mother, he does this.
You're behaving exceptionally rudely to a guest, Mother.
Finally, Jared spoke up next to me, his voice cold as Everest. His mother smirked at him.
You're being shameful. Your behavior is shameful to our family. Please stop.
I quickly wiped my face, looking at Jared. His face and voice were calm and controlled. I expected to see some flicker of anger within him, but instead I saw something else. Apathy. He didn't even seem to care about what was happening around him. No, instead he was distant, standing on the bank of a separate sea. Jared's mother smiled, then bowed her head towards me as if in an apology. I bowed my head back, feeling my anger and sadness subside as well. As my emotions left me, I felt something else. Not calm, but absence. I picked up my chopsticks and began very elegantly to eat. We stepped out of Jared's house after saying our very heartfelt goodbyes. I told his mother it was good to meet her, only a small trace of insincerity in my heart. In fact, it was good to meet her. I learned more about Jared. I learned more about the world. I felt like I stared Beelzebub in the face. To think that someone could grow up like a mother like that, and still end up as healthy as Jared. Jared stepped down the path in front of me, staring at the sky overhead, and I stopped my thought in its track.
Jared.
Jared?
Jared flinched and nodded his head as if he expected this was coming. Yes, my lovely Hana?
Why?
I stopped, hesitating. I wasn't sure why I wanted to ask. Why was your mother like this? Why don't you rebel? Why didn't you defend me? But instead what came out was...
Why are you being distant again?
Jared spun to face me, anger in his eyes. This was not the question he was expecting. What are you talking about? I'm behaving exactly as I always do.
No, you're not. You're being your perfect, pointless self again. You're being that other Jared.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Stop lying to me.
I crossed him, poking him squarely in the chest.
You're not being you. We're that goofy, nerd, cheesy, ugly serious Jared I know get off to. Not like the perfect Jared. That's not the Jared I fell in love with. I want the other Jared back.
Jared stared at me, his face unmoving. Both of them are part of me. I flinched. For the first time, he acknowledged what I was talking about. You said you love me, but that's a lie. That's a straight lie. He clenched his fist, talking through gritted teeth. You're exactly like everyone else. You don't love me. You only love who you want me to be. When I'm not what you want me to change. Just like my mother.
Jared?
He turned away from me. Go back to Asagao without me.
Jared?
He started walking away, made a few steps before realizing something. Turning back, he took his wallet out of his pocket and withdrew several thousand yen, shoving it into my trembling hands. Leave. Then he walked away, disappearing into the hills. I stood there, staring at the money in my hand, listening to the wind whistle through the trees. The money sat crumpled in my palm, defeated, lonely. I couldn't tell whether it felt like a final gesture of love or like I'd been paid for my time. Actually, it felt like a little bit of both. I pocketed the money, watching Jared walk into the distance. It was an odd feeling, knowing the end had come, knowing that we were over. I watched him walk away, feeling not at all distant from him, feeling just as close as ever, but I felt the door closing nonetheless. The wind whistled through again, and I shivered. Night would fall soon. I'd better be getting back. Besides, I didn't like it there. For some reason in that clearing, I had the feeling something was watching me. Watching and grinning. Bad end. Now, good end and the best end do overlap in that you have to go through the good end to get to the best end. So we'll do the good end first. Jared slammed his chopsticks down on the table. His mother and I both jumped, turning to stare at him in utter shock. His mother looked as though he had just slapped her across the face. I am sick of this.
Jared Nabumbawa, you listen to me.
No, mother, you listen to me.
I've put up with you for 17 straight, horribly awful, painful, joyless years of my life. I've begged and begged for you to grant me an ounce of happiness or sunshine every day. You rejected me in favor of your own selfish greed and pointless ambition, all intended to hide your pathetic sense of loneliness and abandonment. I have finally found something. Someone who makes me happy. Someone who showed me that I was still worth a damn even if I wasn't perfect. Someone who showed me that everything you taught me through my life was wrong. No. And I will be damn straight to hell if you think I'm going to let you take her away from me. I stared at Jared in awe, sparks practically flying off him. Mother gaped at him like a dying fish. She looked at her face, her anger seemed to fade slightly. His anger seemed to fade slightly, excuse me. The way you want me to live is painful. It's claustrophobic. I'm sorry. I know what you want from me. I know what you sacrificed to get me there. But I won't live like that anymore, no matter what you try to do. I'm not perfect, and neither are you, and there's a strong chance Dad's family won't recognize you no matter what you do. You should just accept it. You'd be happier that way. He hesitated.
His mother watched him like a wounded animal, scanning his every move for hidden motives. What should be most important is how we feel about ourselves, not how other people see us. That broke the spell. Jared's mother folded her hands on top of the table, resuming her flawlessly cold exterior.
Get out of this house!
Jared bit his lip and stood. Stumbled to my feet after him, and he bowed quickly to his mother, praying for the door.
Don't come back until you understand how to behave properly. Do you understand me? Until then, you might as well not have a home.
Jared opened the door and ushered me out, pausing before closing it. Goodbye, Mom. I love you. Then he shut the door.
Jared.
I tried to approach him, but instead he shook his head, leading me back up the trail to the road. He took my hand in his, with the other pulled out his cell phone and called for a cab. When that was done, we walked in a steady silence.
Jared, I'm sorry.
Jared stopped walking. What are you sorry for?
I'm sorry I messed up. I'm sorry that your mother hates me. I'm sorry for I never told you about my past. I'm sorry for everything.
Jared turned and pulled me into a hug. Please don't apologize, Hana.
You're perfect.
You're worth it to me. Please don't let my mother get into your head. I looked into his eyes and nodded.
Okay, I won't.
He smiled and kissed her gently, ever so gently on the forehead. Thank you, my Hana. For everything. Good end. Now acceptance. Slowly began the long trip back to Asagao. This is when you catch a tab. The drive up to the train station was long and slow. Traffic filled the streets as we were leaving at rush hour. The driver filled the empty space with tourist chatter about his 5-year-old son and how it probably was that he got along well with the chickens. No doubt he sensed love or attention for our visit and was trying to dissipate it, but instead he made things worse. Jared listened to the man's words and smiled a lopsided smile. I stared out the window, not sure what to make of anything. It wasn't until we were walking back to the dorms that I remembered my Norwood's club jacket. I took it out of my satchel and pulled it around my shoulders, smiling as if it stilled my busy mind. Closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Right. Jared's mother might be something he'd have to deal with. That we'd have to deal with at some point. For right now, our lives at Asagao Academy. We're at Asagao Academy. With Norwood's club, with the Hidden Block Club. Jared's mother would come later. We could afford to shelve her for now. I opened my eyes and found Jared with his head in his hands. Worried, I put an arm around his shoulder.
Hey, Jar Jar, you okay?
He shook his head.
Don't worry, everything will be alright, somehow.
How?
How? That's a good question.
No, not that. How could you ever forgive me after what I just put you through? Hana, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I naively thought, but I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Struck by the tone in his voice, I began rubbing his back in panic.
What?
Jared's okay, it's okay. Forgive me. You didn't do anything wrong. It was all your mom.
No.
I just sat there and let her say all that to you.
No, you stood up for me, remember? You told her right the heck off. I bet that felt good.
Jared wiped his face and sat up straight again, nodding. I bit my lip.
But was what happened really okay?
My mother and I'll probably never see eye to eye, but I think that's okay. He smiled sheepishly, taking my hand in his. Ever since meeting you, I felt so free. I never believed that anyone would like me unless I lived up to what they wanted me to be. Thought the real me wouldn't be able to measure up. Then over time I realized I was kind of messed up. And I thought that even if someone could have liked the real me, they could never like the broken me. I tried to work with it and keep people at a distance, but to be frank, being with you showed me that that's absolutely stupid. You and the rest of the Normal Boots, yes, even Paul, care about me because of who I am, not who you expect me to be like. For as much as I've messed up, you've always gave me the benefit of the doubt. You liked me regardless of whether I messed up, regardless of whether I was perfect. Hana, thank you. Sincerely thankful to have met someone as amazing as you.
I didn't really do anything.
Doesn't hurt that you're crazy hot either.
Jared!
I smacked him on the shoulder and he laughed. Then he reached out to hold my face in his hand. Da-da-da-da-da. CG.
Hana.
You really are the most beautiful person, you know that?
The stuff we're gonna melt, gonna cease to exist.
Jared chuckled and drew my face to his. I barely had time to register what was happening before our lips met. In that moment, the only thing that existed for me was Jared. Time stopped as my eyes closed. And then Jared pulled away. Sorry, I know you don't like PDA, but I couldn't help it this time.
No, it was fine this time.
Jared laughed again and pulled me to his side. I love you, Hana. That was it. I was done. I was dead. There was no more Hana to exist. KO. Jared pecked me on the cheek as I tried to mutter out my response, the words getting caught in my mouth. Hearing my mumbling, Jared nuzzled my neck. Don't worry, Hana. I know. Best end of the Jared. And now, after that happens...
I'm sad we won't get to spend more time with each other. I want to spend more time with you.
Yeah, that curfew is really annoying. If I can at least walk you back, I doubt I'd get in trouble for being a gentleman.
Oh, Jared, ever the prince.
All the best for my princess. He winked and I giggled again. Despite the fact that Jared still spoke the way he did, it didn't feel the same way. Gone was a weird feeling that he was standing on stage, performing for audience of thousands, instead of simply speaking to me. When we were alone now, it felt like we were well and truly alone. We held hands as we made it to the girls' dorm. Over time, I became less uptight about PDA, and Jared got better at understanding what was acceptable in public. We had a rocky start, but at some point we realized we both made assumptions about what being in a relationship should be like. What Jared should and shouldn't do for me, what a good girlfriend was and how she wasn't, or what she wasn't. We held these weird ideas to light and found that, like opaque crystals, they blurred everything we did when we tried looking through them. After sorting things out, things got better. Of course, the truth was that things would never be truly perfect. We were very different people. Jared still had moments where he felt he had to grandstand, or when he put on a face for others, even around me. His mother still hated my guts. She told me enough to keep me around, but I was sure that if Jared and I continued to date for long enough, he'd looking to find a way to get rid of me. Like maybe the Mafia or something. And I still had trouble articulating my feelings to him and deciding what was something I should bring up and what wasn't. But for now, we were happy. We well and truly made each other happy. Here we are.
Yep, here we are.
I pushed my hand, touched the handle of my door.
Mine's not supposed to be back for practice for a bit. Do you want to come in?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, good.
Our faces red as tomatoes. I pushed open my door and flicked on the light. Jared and I stood in the doorway, absolutely shocked. Mai pat her hair down nervously, and PG grinned sheepishly from the floor. We were just, looking for aliens, right, Mai?
Bingo.
Yeah, we were summoning them.
From the bedroom floor.
Yeah, because there's like an enchanting circle and, we're dating now.
Yeah.
I knew it. I so called it. Didn't I call it, Jared?
You did call it.
I called it.
PUG sheepishly rubbed the back of his neck, and Jared walked over and clapped on his shoulder, giving him a thumbs up.
All right.
Good choice, my friend. Thanks.
We shall go on a double date sometime.
I smiled at Mai, who was watching PUG and Jared having an intense whispered conversation. She was smiling stupidly, clear over the moon and stars. I pulled her into a hug.
I'm happy for you.
Took him long enough, right? Hey! We all laughed. Mai pulled out a copy of Permit to Ride, a board game with tiny plastic trains sprawling across a map of Europe. 4 of us played it all the way into our curfew. This was my life at Asagao, and some days I couldn't believe it. But I'd never been happier.
Thank you, everyone. for everything.
Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club.
That was Jeff. And now we have the last set of cutscenes. Gerard, you have endings. You have a few. Now, in all these endings, except for the neutral ending, Gerard doesn't really hate you in any ending, actually. It's just that, I don't know. Basically, it's how confident is Hana at the end, is basically what the scale here is. Nice guy. There's a possibility that you could initiate a choice when Gerard finds you at your dorm. And if you were to make a certain choice before that, you could choose whether you tell him the truth right then and there, or take a deep breath and, like, relax. This is what happens if you decide to tell the truth.
You're too nice, Gerard.
What?
What? Thanks! That's sweet of you, I think.
No, I mean, you're too nice for me. I can't take it around you anymore. Everything you do makes me feel guilty. I started second-guessing myself, and I feel like I'm indebted to you, and I have to make it up. Every time I try to make it up to you, I mess up, and somehow I take even more from you. I feel like shit. I'm not worth this amount of effort. I can't stand it.
Wait, what?
And himself, wait, what? I don't understand. I'm nice to you because I like you and I want to be. You're not forcing me to do anything or taking anything from me. I just like seeing you smile.
No.
You're being selfish. Aren't you even listening to me? Don't you see what this effect is having on me? I can't do this anymore. I really can't.
Hana.
Hana. I slammed the door shut.
Hana.
Leave me alone.
For a long time, there was always silence on the other end of the door. Finally, Gerard walked away.
Stupid.
I crossed my bed, kicking the blanketed pile as I went.
Ow!
Stupid freaking statue stuck on my toe. I hated this. I hated all of it. The next day, Gerard was back in class and around for lunch as usual. Not that I saw much of him. Shane was so furious at my leaving the tournament that he didn't want Mai and me eating lunch with them. The others were kind of sorry, but as I looked at their faces, I realized they pretty much agreed with him. In the end, I didn't join back up with the tournament, and Gerard didn't bother me again. Even that didn't make me feel any better. I had a feeling he wasn't talking to me just to be nice, just because he realized it made me uncomfortable and didn't want me to feel bad. Even when I tried not to take from him, I was still taking from him. But that was fine. Kind of. After all, there are only 8 more months in the school year. I could go back home as if nothing ever happened. Only 8 more months. Worst end. Now, the bad end is what happens when Han loses the tournament. Gerard always wins in his endings. But this is what happens when you basically do everything wrong except for the decision that gets you the worst end. Gerard led me through campus, a twinkle in his eyes. For some reason, I felt incredibly uneasy.
What do you have to show me?
Shh! I want it to be a surprise.
A surprise? You mean you did something for me again?
Maybe? I stopped in my tracks. Gerard, not expecting this, stumbled over his own feet.
Hana.
Hana, is something wrong? Did you do something for me again?
What's going on?
Why are you asking like that? You're acting like it's a bad thing. I just want to surprise you. It is a bad thing, Gerard. It is.
Hold the phone.
What?
What?
Why? You've given me so much already. So much of everything. This whole time I've been taking from you. Just taking and taking without giving anything back. And you don't even care. You act like it's not a big deal. Well, it's not a big deal.
No.
It is to me, Gerard. I don't deserve any of this from you.
Hana.
Hana. I slid my hands from his grasp, tucking him into the folds of my Asagao jacket.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but all the time I spend with you, it just makes me insecure. You're so nice, Gerard. You're too nice. I can't do it anymore. When I'm with you, I just compare myself to you, and when I do, I feel terrible about myself. This isn't even really about you. It's about me. Are you really using that line on me right now?
No.
I'm not not using a lie, I'm just telling the truth. I don't think you like me for who I am. You're so nice to me, and I don't deserve any of it. It just doesn't make any sense. Well,
Hana.
it's because I'm sorry.
I turned away from Gerard and I ran. In the end, Gerard got the picture, but the result of my speech was that he became overly self-conscious around me. He felt like he couldn't be nice to me anymore, but he didn't know how to be anything but nice. A truly intriguing conflict. In the end, he kept his distance from me, as did the rest of Norwood's guys. Convention, the tournament, and everything else about that year eventually became a distant memory. And to be honest, it was one I'd rather forget. Bad end. To the neutral end. Basically, this is what happens when you end up taking most of the actions that get you the worst ending, but you end up not making a decision that gets you the worst ending. Where you win the tournament, get on to the end. Gerard led me to Primrose House, of all places, and up to the 3rd floor. As we approached my door, he slowed, a strange look across his face.
Hey.
Gerard, are you okay?
Huh?
What? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I was just thinking about something.
He took a few more steps towards my door and stopped again.
Gerard? I'm sorry, Hana. I'm just thinking about something.
He dropped my hands, gently as though setting down a baby bird.
What is it?
He held his breath. For an instant, he glanced around the hall as if we were looking for somewhere to go, or somewhere to talk to, but it was just us.
Well, it's just that, it's not ready yet, so we won't be able to go see it. Haha, fancy that. Gerard?
It seemed weird. It wasn't like him, but he placed his hands on my shoulders and got me back down the hallway.
Let's go on a walk instead. That'll be pleasant.
Pleasant? Once we were finally together outside, Gerard seemed almost even more nervous than before. He kept fidgeting, his hands patting down the hem of his jacket.
Gerard, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong. I just, I don't know how to do this. How to do what? Well, it's just I haven't seen much of you since I was working on that project for so long, and I think I'd like to get to know you a little more. You mean, like on a date?
No.
No. No, just, as friends.
As friends? Oh.
Right, of course. Yeah, I mean, a lot's happened the past few days. We've both been super stressed out. I think it'll be nice to unwind and, to be able to see more of each other.
See what I mean?
I want to understand all of you. I don't think I do yet. But what's not to understand? So how about some ice cream? Sure, why not?
Everything, Hana. I didn't know why Gerard suddenly had a change of heart. Sure, he'd been acting strange for the past few weeks. To be fair, I was acting weird too. But I didn't explain how things suddenly went from day to blindingly cold night. I got a feeling I was missing something, or maybe that I did something wrong. Well, to get this ending, you probably did. But maybe I was just being paranoid. Eventually, our friendship returned to normal, but our relationship never progressed. I was the newest member of the Norwood's Club and Gerard's friend. Nothing more, nothing less. I wasn't satisfied, but in my heart of hearts I felt like there was still a chance. I just needed to prove myself. Neutral end. The good end is when Hana loses the tournament, but she's generally a good person to Gerard anyway, so we'll see it.
What are you bringing me out here for, Gerard? It's something you only see once a year. Just wait.
Gerard let me pass the field's lone tree into the shadow of a hill.
There, do you see that? See what?
That! Gerard pointed to something hidden deep within the recess of the hill. Shrouded along weeds. Glinting, I took a closer look.
It's
Exactly.
an Asagao flower, right. It bloomed right here in the wild, buried in the shadows, fighting day in, day out for its survival. In fact, it took so long that people would have sworn there was no such thing here. But the truth is, the flower's blooming all this time. They're just covered up by the things around it.
Despite that, it still managed to find its own path and create its own beauty. Look at it now. It's thriving even when it's all surrounded by.
It's beautiful.
So are you.
Gerard.
Gerard?
He took my hands in his, a gentle breeze ruffling his hair.
Hana.
Hana, even though you aren't going to be a part of the Normal Boots Club, I still want to be around you. No, even more than just being around you, I want to be with you. I want you to be like I want to be like the hill that protects you, or the sun gives you life, or something like that. Will you accept me as your boyfriend?
Gerard, of course I will.
Huh?
You will.
Yeah.
Of course, you big silly.
All right.
Alright, this is the best day of my life.
It better be.
I'll tell you what, this beats finding Princess Pumpernickel any day. And so Gerard and I officially started dating. Despite not being a member of the club, I still hung around with Norboots guys often enough. It was kind of hard not to, considering how often I was around Gerard. Like that, my first year at Asagao passed happily by. And for the first time, I was genuinely excited for what the next year of school would bring. Good end. Now for the best end. Paper cuts. Gerard led me to Primrose House, where he stopped in front of my dorm room.
Gerard, why are you at my dorm room?
Because, like I said, there's something I want to show you. He turned to my door, about to open it, when he rolled back to me.
But first, close your eyes.
And thanks for the lurk, Jimmy.
It's a surprise.
Obediently, I closed my eyes. I felt a brief rush of air as I assumed Gerard waved his hand in front of my face, making absolutely sure I wasn't peeking. Gerard took my hands and led me into the room.
Can I open them?
No, no, no.
No, not yet.
He dropped my hands.
Wait here.
There was a faint rustling as Gerard started moving something around my room.
Now can I open them?
Alright, now. Do. A lot of paper cranes.
Gerard? Do you like it? I've never seen so many paper cranes in all my life.
Remember that story you told me? About your mom and about little Hana? I think it's time that little Hana's giving herself a hard time.
You mean...
Uh-huh.
There's 999 cranes here. And I need just one more. Gerard placed a square-cut decorative origami paper in my hands. Would you do the honors? Slowly, delicately, pulled my 1000th paper crane. And that makes 1,000.
Gerard, this is amazing. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. During lunch and after school, one of the dorms learned how to fold paper cranes. It took me a while to even get it right. Once I finally learned how to make them nicely, I got to work. And now?
I'm not
Well,
so sure.
I know nothing special, but I was kind of hoping that we could be together as a couple.
What?
Nothing special?
No.
You think you're nothing special. You're the kind of most caring, coolest person I know. You stand up for yourself and what you like unconditionally, and you're always so... Never let me hear you're nothing special again.
Does that mean...
Yeah.
Well, of course it does. Yes, let's be together.
Really?
Really?
I jumped into Gerard's arms and, to my surprise as well as his, kissed him.
Ooh,
Whoa!
Hana.
Hana. That might be the completionist, but you've completed me.
Gerard. Now if you don't mind, I'll take seconds.
Gerard really was one of the nicest people I ever met. Together, I knew we could make each other happy and find Princess Pumpernickel. As long as Gerard was on my side, I knew he could handle anything. I knew it. Best end. And now, after the best end, you unlock this particular scene. For after the credits. Night fell as Gerard and I officially cemented our relationship. The reactions from people around us were, as expected, unsurprising.
Whoa!
You two are dating? Whoa, I am shocked. It's about time you gotta move on, Hana. I'm happy for you guys. No, really. Sad Papagu. We gathered together all the paper cranes and arranged them into families, piling them together around my room until I resumed my own ABK collection.
Hey, Hana.
Would you ever be interested in starting your own ABK collection, Hana?
Would I? I thought you'd never ask.
But even after all that, as we snuggled down to watch a movie, one question kept niggling itself at my side.
Gerard?
What's going on?
Yes, my dear Hana?
How did you manage to get all these cranes in my room?
Well...
Oh, about that. Meanwhile, how many of these damn cranes did Gerard fold?
It's so stupid!
Please, can you do me one teensy tiny favor? It'll make Hana really happy, I swear.
Jerk!
I swear, if Gerard ever asks me to do anything for him again, I'll defenestrate him without a second thought. He's gonna owe me big time. Big time, you hear me? Big time!
Asagao Academy.
And
Normal Boots Club.
that was all of Gerard's endings. Now, I could go over to Hidden Block and Jock endings, but I think those are meant to be kept a secret and aren't really canon. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Surprise! So, if you decide to turn down PBG and then go after Ian, here's the ending that you'll get no matter what. The various members of Hidden Block popped out from around the doorway, Jazz hands a flare. Oh joy, a party. Not a party, a friendly gathering.
Huzzah!
All for you, to show how much we care about you. Ian rolled his eyes and turned to me. I suppose you're in on this?
Well...
Absolutely.
It was her idea to begin with, and we all rallied behind her.
Why don't you enjoy yourself? They did this all for you. I know you guys don't say it very much.
My gaze slid over Caddy. He looked as though he was edging towards the corner of the room to get a good shot.
Yeah.
But you all care a lot about each other. You're such good friends. Enjoy yourselves.
I agree. Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this friendly gathering started. Ian grudgingly entered the door, which everyone took as an implicit agreement to the shenanigans that followed. They said there is no part of the Hidden Block party. Do not let anybody tell you what's different. Waleed baked everyone individual cupcakes with various faces on them. Caddy took offense at this, so Ian ate his cupcake to make it better. This led to an all-out war, Jeff, Ian, and Jimmy against Caddy, Luke, and Waleed. It was initially a friendly minigame competition, almost like a real-life game of Marionette Party, everyone using desks as floor spaces. But then somebody took someone else's star. I don't even remember who it was anymore. I think it was Luke taking someone's star. And then Waleed landed on a Bower space and everyone started over from scratch. And then Ian got the next star after teleporting and switching spaces with Caddy. Then Caddy pulled an actual gun on Ian. Come here, Moosey.
What?
What the actual fuck? At some point, Waleed seemed to be wearing a magical girl uniform, and him and Luke were performing at the front of the classroom. I hid under a cupboard. I don't know what happened while I was in there, but I didn't come out until the banging and screaming stopped. The classroom was covered in paintball splatters, empty firework containers, and streamers. As I blinked in horrified shock, I realized that they're still in the room. They all had gathered around a hairdryer and were roasting marshmallows over it.
Hana.
Here, Hana, I saved you one. Waleed held a stick out to me and I crept slowly out like a wounded dog. So cute.
Hana.
So Hana, we were talking. Wouldn't you rather join the Hidden Block Club instead of the Normal Boots Club? I mean, they're great and all, but here you have us. He reached his arms out, and the rest of the group collapsed in on him in what must have been the strangest group hug in known history.
Hi.
To be honest, I kind of liked the chaos. It was all over the place, and they flew by the seat of their pants constantly. But they were all great guys with big hearts and their friends' best interests on their mind.
Well...
Honestly, I'll think about it.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, we got Hana.
I didn't say that. Too late. You've basically agreed. We'll follow you to hell and back. You're one of us. Oh no, I take it back. I regret my decision.
There are no regrets in Hidden Block, only video games. Ian held his marshmallow up in the air, and the rest followed suit in a strange salute over the top of my head.
Yeah.
To Hana, our newest member.
To Hana.
I sighed.
I guess I have no choice.
Yay!
And black it is.
And then there was much rejoicing and many more s'mores.
And guys, thank you.
Wait, what? We lost her already? Christ.
I must admit, this is a little sad.
A little?
Already be a jack in her size. Okay. Jared, can't you do something about this? There are limits to the extent of my powers, and I'm not going to risk the revenge I'd suffer from those guys.
So that's it then? Easy come, easy go.
Ian, you haven't heard the last of this. Mark my words, I will have my revenge. Achoo!
You okay?
On a jacket. Yeah,
Someone must be talking about you.
Really?
that superstition. Yeah, right. Come on, we got mean today.
Yeah.
Right.
Hidden block. Okay. We're not going to do Jacques things. We are, however, going to do a couple of more things. So after we get all the endings, including both the Jacques endings, we get this finish bonus. And this is the thing that is alluded to in Satch's route if you dig through Mai's backpack. Or if you defend Mai during Satch's route. Normal love. A Normal Boots Club fanfiction by Boots and Butts 69. Nice. Thank you for the lurk, Golfwood and Hunter. You're about to read or hear fanfiction. Chapter 1. He Came. Author's note. This is a work of fiction. Disclaimer. I do not own any of the individuals on the Earth or personalities. I'm just a fan, so don't sue me. It was a long and rough day for Jared Nobbenbauer. He resupplied his gun and attached it to his back. Behind him, his best friend PBG was scaling a wall, trying to get a good shot at the alien invasion they were currently facing. His comrades in arms, Shane and Josh, had earnestly been gunned down in front of his eyes. He was less than thrilled at this turn of events. PBG, are you in position yet? Jared hissed into the walkie-talkies attached to their uniforms. There was a slight stag in reply. I'm ready. You know me, Jared. I can never let you down. Jared smiled. PBG always had his back, all the way back to when they were kids. But Jared knew that if PBG found out how Jared really felt towards him, their friendship would be over. For now, it was enough to make sure PBG was safe from harm. If that meant sacrificing his teammates, so be it. It was worth it so long as PBG was safe. PBG crouched against the edge of the rooftop, setting his sights on the nearest enemy alien. Jared was always the one who went rushing headfirst in the battle. It was one of the things PBG liked most about him, but it drove him crazy thinking Jared might one day meet his end because of his foolhardy ways. PBG scanned the perimeter. Aside from the alien he had set sights on, the coast was clear. With a grim smile, he pulled the rifle to his shoulder. Good night, sweet prince. PBG's shot rang out. The alien took a clear and direct hit. Yes! Jared shouted. But something was wrong. The alien was still alive, still moving. It turned, looking in the direction the shot came from. No! Jared started running from the top of the building, legs pumping as fast as they could carry him. No! He pulled himself up to the top of the building, where PBG was being menaced by the shiny gray, bulbous alien. Not if I have anything to say about it! Jared flung himself on top of PBG, just as the alien launched a grenade on them both. Others note. What did you think? Exciting, huh? Just wait until Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Samurai. PBG woke up with something heavy on top of him. He sat up and looked at what it was, then gasped. Jared. Jared was resting in his lap. How did this happen? PBG's mind raced, trying hard not to think about the exact position of Jared's body in relation to his, not to think about his giant, slender yaoi hands. Peachy glanced around, just now recognizing that something seemed different than before. Instead of the anti-technology and rough city landscape that he was used to, there were trees. Trees and the smell of smoke in the air. Peachy nudged Jared to life, who jumped. What? What happened? Where are we? Jared immediately started talking, then his eyes fell on Peachy's angelic face. You're right, he said. I thought you were gonna die. Nah, Peachy said. I'm a bit hardier than that. But where are we? Jared asked. Peachy looked grimly at him. I have a theory about that, he said. I have a feeling we're in feudal Japan. Oh, there's no whoa twist, I know. Are you excited for the rest? Good. There's lots of smut to come. Don't worry, I'm just warming up. This series is not for the squeamish, it's for the squeamish, lol. Stay tuned for next chapter. Things have gotten hectic on my end, so we'll see when I get around to it. Till then, keep your booties normal.
Asagao Academy. Normal boots.
And now, for the one ending that we have not seen yet. When you get every ending, good, bad, worst, random betweens, hiddens in both the Jocks endings, you get something called a completion bonus. This will be the first time that we'll be reading through this. I'm also going to check this off, because we've seen every message, basically. In the weeks following the tournament and Gerard and I gained together, things settled down. The reason I did Gerard's last was because this ending is very much a Gerard ending. I got used to attending the Orboots Club meetings. I was even getting a bit used to the chaos. Mai told me I was more confident than she'd ever seen me, happier too. She kept calling me her Philosopher's Stone because she said I transformed myself ever since coming here. I told her she was silly, but I kind of liked the nickname. Almost everything was wonderful, except for Waleed. After everything that happened with Waleed and the fake Princess Pumpernickel, things between us were awkward and strange. As much as I tried to talk with him and show him that I wasn't mad at him anymore, it didn't work. Waleed would see me coming, make eye contact for a briefest moment, then turn tail and run. This time, I wasn't having it. I remember what it was like to feel ashamed around people you considered friends. What it was like to be unable to look them in the eye. I was determined that Lloyd shouldn't feel like that, not if I could help it.
Hey.
Lloyd, are you alright?
Hana.
Anna. Hi. He glanced about himself and took a step to his side, evidently heading around me. I grabbed his arm.
Lloyd, please. I'm not upset with you anymore. You don't have to worry about it, alright?
Lloyd nodded, staring at the floor.
Lloyd, look at me.
It's just that I was sure it was a real figure. I wouldn't even try to give it to you if I knew if it was fake.
I know, I believe you. How'd you not know it was a fake, though? It wasn't even the right color.
I didn't bother to look it up. I just assumed. I mean, her family owns part of the company, so why would Mimi... A look of dull horror crossed over his face.
Mimi? Lloyd, did you say Mimi did this?
What?
No, I didn't. I spun on my heel and walked straight around the corner, from the smattering of shoes behind me while he was apparently following. Of course Mimi did it. Of course Mimi did it. I mean, John's worst end. How could you not know that she did it? It all made sense now. While he would have never tried to blackmail us on his own, he was too nice. But if Mimi tried to manipulate him, tried to tell him that it was better for everyone involved, Mimi with her slimy little smile and plastic attitude, the one that Ian called her out on actually in this very route. I threw open the door to Hidden Block Club room with a thud.
Guys, I need your help. Mimi!
Oh, Hana, how nice to see you.
Is it?
The Hidden Block boys formed a line behind me, arms crossed. Yeah, Mimi, is it?
Yes, why wouldn't it be?
Mimi answered easily, but she shifted her arms behind her back. I searched her eyes.
You know why we're here.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Cut the crap, Mimi. You gave Ollie the fake Princess Pumpernickel figure. What is wrong with you?
That figure was a fake?
Oh my god, really? Your parents own part of the company, you're still acting like this?
Mimi's gaze whipped to Lloyd's face, who once again stared at the floor.
You! Nobody was supposed to know.
Well, now we do. How are you gonna make up for this?
Mimi stared past us, brow furrowed. Mimi?
It was just a silly mistake. I had the real figurine in my room, I just forgot which one was the real one. If you just told me it was wrong, I would have fixed it much sooner. I'm so sorry this caused so much trouble between all of you. Let me just go grab it.
Mimi brushed past us, ignoring the gaping looks on our faces.
What?
Aren't you coming, Hana?
Uncertainly, I followed Mimi out of the classroom. Mimi wasn't talking. She stalked ahead in front of me, her heels stabbing the ground as she went. I didn't bother to say anything. At this point, Mimi and I understood each other. Kind of. She hated my guts and apparently wouldn't stop at nothing to see me miserable, but...
Why?
What?
Why do you hate me so much? What did I do?
Mimi's eyes bored holes in my skull, her gaze searing like a third-degree burn. Wordlessly, she shoved open her dorm door and disappeared into the room. Needless to say, she did not invite me in. In a few seconds, she returned, a purple Princess Pumpernickel in hand.
Oh!
I reached out to grab it, but Mimi yanked it back.
Not so fast. You're not gonna tell anybody about my parents, are you?
Why would I do that?
You better not.
I think that's kinda cool. I don't think you need to hide it.
I don't want to hear it from you, okay?
She dropped the figure into my outstretched hand, so suddenly I nearly dropped it.
Congratulations, he went again.
With a roll of her eyes, she disappeared into her room.
Thank you.
Slam. Or not. I gazed at the tiny key in my hands. There was no box for her, but Gerard once told me that she didn't come in a box. That was how rare she was. Only 3 copies in the world, and Mimi just gave hers away? After all this time of knowing her, I felt like I only had more questions. Maybe that was how some people were. Regardless, Princess Pumpernickel is now mine. Which meant...
Shh, be quiet.
He's not going to hit us.
Ugh.
You can't know that.
No!
Shh, seriously. Seriously, honestly quiet.
He's coming.
Huh?
Huh? Shane, why is the light off?
Surprise! Happy birthday!
What?
What? What's all this?
It's a surprise party. What does it look like?
You guys doing all this for me?
Of course we are. We're your friends, aren't we?
Hey!
Come, we have your present right here.
I grabbed Gerard's hand and led him from the drafty doorway. He stumbled slightly as we went, as if we were in a stupor. Beaming, I presented a small white box to him.
It's from all of us.
You guys didn't have to give me anything. That's exactly why we didn't tell you we got you something. A ripple of barely suppressed giggles passed through the rest of the guys. We told each other to remain quiet. Gerard's ears grew pink.
Are you going to open it?
Yeah, but before I do... He turned to face us.
You guys are the greatest present I could ever receive. Everything else pales in comparison.
Gerard. Of course, the sparkles cause a thing. Gerard.
Come on, open the present already. I'm getting all antsy here.
I'm so excited. I'm shaking. Okay, here I go.
Gerard picked up the sturdy white box and with a cautious gentleness opened up the lid. He turned white as paper. And thanks for the work, Trev. Glad you're here.
Gerard,
are you okay? This isn't... Oh, but it is.
CG. The final CG of the game, right here. It's Princess Pumpernickel! We burst into laughter as Gerard gingerly picked up the figure and held it out for us all to see. It's really her! She's right here! She's in my hand! Oh my goodness, how did you get her? All eyes in the room turned to look at me and heat shot into my face. Gerard followed their gazes.
Hana.
Hana?
Well,
I had help from a few friends.
Gerard swept me up in a hug. Princess Pumpernickel held carefully away from our bodies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hana!
You're the best.
You're the best girlfriend I've asked for, could I ever dreamed of. I was kind of hoping to tell you in a more romantic way, but I can't wait anymore. I've got to say it. Hana, I love you. Hell yeah, it's about time, Gerard.
I thought you would have said it weeks ago. You may lose 2,000 yen.
Sorry, guys.
Come
And thank you. My collection is now complete. I'm the happiest man alive. Oh, I guess we won't be needing this ice cream cake then.
Say what?
You guys got me ice cream cake? Okay, take it back. Now I'm the happiest man alive. You're the best, all of you.
Hey.
Thanks for being there for me. Oh, he said it himself. On.
Hey, thanks for being there for me.
Exactly. As if there would be a time where we wouldn't be.
These are the best, Gerard, because you are the best.
Oh, stop. The cake is going to melt.
Right.
Right, let's eat. Life at Asagao Academy only got better. With friends like these by our sides, we couldn't ask for any better.
Asagao Academy, normal boots.
Alright, so that was all the endings that we talked about here. And yeah, basically, we're going to leave off on an image. Let's see. Which one should we leave off on? We'll leave it off on this one. Anyway, so after all endings considered, I'd say that the endings were a good representation of what Anna learned throughout her time here. And yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans for the future of the Nyttel's Lost Book Club series. So, next week I'm going to do a one-shot of a certain relatively popular and recent visual novel. It's going to be a one-shot, probably all in one sitting. And then after that, I have a poll going for the next game that I'm going to cover. So, I'm having that in my Discord, actually. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out to watch this tumultuous stream bling here. This fun time that we had here. Let's see. Alright. I have my rate target for today. There we go. Thank you guys for coming out to this place, this stream. Hope to see you guys again. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. See ya. Alright, so we end. Next week, the Colonel.